Hey everybody, welcome to Call to Action Live, episode number 64. I am very happy to be here tonight. I am your host of this episode, Kelsey, and to my, I guess it'd be right, I have the amazing PLD. How you doing, Paul?
I'm doing great. It's good to be here on Call to Action Live after this tremendous night. Thanks for having me.
Yes, absolutely. And down to the corner, I have Nat Daddy. Hey, Natty Daddy, how you doing?
I am doing fantastic. I got a new nickname today. The New York Guardians one, New York Excelsior one, the right movie one of the Oscars. I am on cloud nine.
Happy to have you, and I'm happy you're doing great too. And down below me, I have.
I gotta get the hashtag going.
Okay.
If we go on the live chat, you can see my notes, but I'll also get hashtag Natty Daddy trending. I'm also here with Pretty Limp Biscuit and Kelsey.
Hi, I'm just Kelsey. Fine. All right, and down below me, I have the amazing Adelaide. How are you doing tonight?
Wait, you know how I'm doing tonight?
How are you doing tonight?
I can debut this. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so happy we got that now.
There's going to be some Oscar spoilers.
There might be some Oscar spoilers. We're super excited about it. Fair warning.
Some are a little more excited than others.
I don't know what you're talking about. All right. Well, we have some awesome stuff to talk about tonight. We are going a little bit later than we usually do, but we wanted to make sure we got an episode in despite the Oscars because there was a really awesome match that happened this week that we need to talk about. And there's a lot of new news and things we need to talk about as well. So we are going to start with that pretty awesome match that we started out with RB3 versus Goddard. What'd you guys think? How'd you feel about that match being the first studio match we've seen so far this season?
Well, it's an interesting match to start with. You have two RB3's not a newcomer per se, but he hasn't played in a while. You got Ben Goddard making his much ballyhooed appearance, and it's a SEN Live Battle Royale tournament, so to speak. So, I mean, it's definitely an intriguing match to start with, even if it's not too heavyweights of the game. It showed a lot. It showed a lot in this match, I think. What do you guys think?
The fuck did you say? Wallyhood?
Ballyhooed.
That looks like a discount Mario villain. The fuck are you on?
I'm old and I'm white. That's actually an old white saying. I know an old man Whitehead saying. J.R. Ross in the back of the day would have said that. So
I didn't say it. You do like Green Book, so it makes sense. But my dictionary isn't that big.
Going there.
We're going there already. I think Nat actually liked Green Book a little bit too, comparatively. So what do you call Nat? Because I don't think he's old or white.
I thought Green Book was fine.
I don't think he's old or white. So
Pick him out.
All right. So, Adelaide, do you have any opinions on this match?
You'll see it in the reaction, hopefully dropping tomorrow, depending on where you live. Maybe today. You'll see. I was hoping RB3 would win because that's my Wangy boy, and he hasn't won in 5 matches, and now he hasn't won in 6. And
who knew?
With a name like Denuzio, I mean, come on.
I know, right?
I mean, it was a pretty good match. I outscored Ben, but that's beside the point. It was a lot of fun, and also, I mean, we'll get to when we actually do the breakdown of the match. Kate is my favorite manager. I'm sorry, Roxy. I'm sorry, Sam, but it's Kate. I mean, come on.
I have learned very quickly that I'm not going to say favorites anymore because it seems like every time we say somebody's a favorite, we're going to get in trouble with somebody else. So I have Andrew Guy as my favorite person in this Schmoedown. Everybody else is 1A.
I have my personal grievances with R&B, but everyone else, love you guys.
No, fuck R&B. There are 8 great teams.
There are 8 amazing teams, and then... Yeah. All right. Well, Natty Daddy, what do you think of that match?
I came into this match with relatively low expectations, but this match really surprised me. They both did really much better than I thought they would. Like R&B. He hasn't played in like a year or 2 years maybe, and he did way better than I thought he was going to do coming back in. Like I know his 2 losses were really close, but I think I think the game has changed since he last played. The competitors have gotten better, but he really stepped it up, and I gotta say I'm really impressed with him. I'm obviously really impressed with Ben too. Like the most exciting thing about this new season to me are the rookies, because the rookies always come in and do great. Like you see in 2017, Ethan Irwin came in and dominated. Last season, Oyama came in and dominated. Like I wonder if Ben Goddard is gonna be that rookie sensation.
I see you adamantly shaking your head. What are your thoughts, Hattie?
I don't want to inflate Ben's ego too much. Obviously, I can't say much. I'll have to step in the ring to prove my point. I think Ben gets to 2-1 in this little run. I think he beats Bonnie or Brett, but I don't think he can stand up against. I think it'd be Roka up next if he beats Oyama.
That'll be an interesting one.
And that's not gonna happen.
You're assuming Bonnie's beating Brett. It seems like, huh?
Come on, Brett's got a chance. Go, Brett. He's gonna pull it out
Yeah,
of there. We're
he's
gonna
got a chance. I have a chance of marrying Alicia Vikander, which means 0.
You never know. You never
Wow,
know.
Brett, I have faith in you. I feel like you could just pull it out. You can
I
do
love
it.
the man.
Pull
He's
it
not
off,
because he
man.
doesn't pull out. I don't think he can beat Bonnie, unfortunately. Bonnie's good. She nearly beat Janine.
I could see Brett. I don't think he's gonna win, but low key, Brett could pull like the guy route and just be very distracting and really
It's
throw someone
true.
off the game. If he just starts drunk calling his answers or just starts yelling, like ranting stuff in the middle of the match, he could totally throw Bonnie Somerville off. Let's be honest here. I could do it.
What
Just
one
that.
that
Definitely a possibility. But
parachute.
I also see Bonnie winning. If Ben comes and plays the way he did against his first match, I think he wins. But it's gonna be close. Like I don't know how good of a Bonnie is gonna show up to that match. We're just assuming that Bonnie is gonna but I think Ben goes 2-0 personally.
Yeah, I think that's probably going to be correct. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Were you guys impressed by Ben? Do you think in this at all? Or were you?
I was impressed by his Middle Earth knowledge because that shit's hard. And
Yeah,
it
Middle Earth is a
sucks.
hard category for sure, and he did great. So like,
I was
yeah,
for it.
I was pleasantly surprised with Ben's performance. I mean, I didn't have low expectations, but I had pretty medium expectations. So I think you're right. I think he's definitely going to win the first two. We'll have to see about that third what happens, but he's a stronger player than I anticipated.
We should talk about. I mean, let's talk about this. It's not controversy is not the right word because, but a lot of people have said like this first round was very like stupid easy.
Yeah.
I mean, to
Now-
be fair, though, they're reusing questions from the
Right.
past,
True.
Absolutely.
which are generally easier. It's a debut and someone who's technically 0-5 across 2 divisions, which is you're going to need easier questions for that. And it's one of the first matches of the season after easy questions in New York. Like
I'm not exactly decrying it. I'm just saying I wanted to tackle it a little bit. Now,
Yeah.
also, I want to know. I'm kind of curious. Maybe this is a question we can ask one of the head writers, or even how it works. Is how do they choose questions for a match? Like, who gets to choose what questions are used? Do we know this? Has this ever been really talked about? Do you know this, Adelaide?
last I heard, it's literally questions are in a doc and they pull them, and there's no real like they don't curate the match. Otherwise, that could lead. Yeah, that could lead to cheating in their eyes. I think from what I've heard. So it would just be, you got these questions, boom, throw them in. Round 2, boom, throw them in.
Because it does seem like a lot of times, like championship matches, for example, are much harder usually than like rookie matches, for example.
I'd imagine they segment it, maybe, but again, I haven't seen the doc. I don't know.
Maybe they have like 2 pools of like 1 point easy, 1 point hard, and they just randomly pull from said pools. So that way it's still random. There's no favoritism in the questions, but there's still levels. If that
makes sense.
Makes sense.
Just
Maybe.
two categories of debut and fuck me, this is hard.
Yes.
And there's no in between.
But that is true too. So I mean, it's a question. I would never want to question the integrity of big sport. I'll be honest with you, because I know from talking to everybody, talking Christian, like there's ever anything that was hinting at a wrong list, it would be squashed because they believe in integrity of the match over everything.
It's hard for me, like just from my perspective, because I do write questions for the fan leagues. That type of like writing has never been an issue for us. Where I've written whole matches, I've seen whole matches be written, and I've played with curated questions, and they've never caused an issue per se. And granted, Showdown's different. and that's going to happen. Just
Right.
from my perspective, it's not as bad as it's made out to seem.
That could make sense too.
Jeremiah always questioning the integrity. That's true because Ben is a traitor. Ben is a dirty, dirty traitor, and we know this. But,
And in 20 days, that bitch is going to win, but I'm not going to be happy about it.
He is going to keep that belt. Yeah.
that's
I'm gonna
that's
be
our next
there.
segment. That's our next segment. We're still talking about RB. Let's come on, host. Let's keep it together here.
You know what I want to talk about. We'll just
But anyway, so it was a good first match. I mean, it didn't
It was.
show like it wasn't very strength. The 5-round question, like we were bringing up before stream, was pretty difficult for
Yeah.
RB3.
And- Like even you can see it in the reaction that drops it probably tomorrow with me and Alex. Like I'm trying to guess through the question. You know, it's horror, so it's a really hard question. It's a very vague movie, so you assume it has to be a big name. And I just go for a random horror actor.
Right.
I get it wrong, but you can guess Vincent Price through that. It's a guessable question. I don't
Absolutely.
think it's fair for rookie debut, but it's a good question.
Yeah, no, it is a solid. It's a solid 5-point question because it's
Yep.
not a very known film in today's landscape per se. But it is true. You have the couple of horror actors you can think of, and like I said, you thought who did you think? You guessed Christopher Lee. I had thought in my head maybe it's Peter Cushing, but then having Vincent Price, that's the other guy pretty
Yeah.
much at that
Yeah,
point.
I mean, he's pretty horrifying. He does blow up entire planets.
That's true. Oh, Cushing is absolutely.
yes,
So-
most terrifying person ever.
I will say. Oh no, hi, Penny. Thank you, Daniel. Good to have you here as always.
Hi, Danny.
Just because you're jealous you can't grow in Adelaide, it's okay.
I can't. I just choose not to. I'm also mad that this is my video Drew brother right here. This is the man that I've caught hot on multiple occasions. He should be on my side.
It's true. It's the whole reason I joined C2A is like I want to be on camera with that mustache. So here I am. That was the selling point for me.
Oh man.
I have not heard that phrase in many moons and many a website.
It's true. It is true. Going back to the RB3 is being called rookie, people kind of forget he's been matched, but he hasn't been. Has he ever had a singles match?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
0-2 in singles and
He's
0-3 in
a singles.
teams.
That's what it was. Okay. I can't even remember his singles match. That's what
His teams matches. The Wangers gave the only win they ever got to the Real Rejects for a
remember that.
retirement match.
I do remember that. I do remember that. Huh.
Yeah,
Anyway.
he lost to Matt Nose and Stacey Howard.
Okay. I do actually remember that now that you mentioned those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, I'm old. A lot of
There's one
Jameson,
thing-
a lot of Jack Daniels.
There's one
A lot of
important thing that
claw.
we're forgetting here. And it's something I had to highlight it on my little recap board.
Okay.
The accent.
I am
love-
so happy that she's doubling down on that.
I am too. I love it so much. I love it.
It's a heel move and it's glorious and let's make I just love Kate. I love Kate.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Where'd you go? There you are.
Can do no wrong.
It's a good thing that corruption isn't being featured quite yet, Mr. Kaiser. Mr. John. I forget his name is John sometimes.
Adelaide,
Who's Kaiser?
it's okay. Kaiser, you're right. I don't like corruption either. None of us really like corruption. And the real people here don't like corruption. Let's put it that way.
Are you, fuck. Yeah, you're right. Fuck.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. You're not
That's
wrong.
also on a different website.
So, Den has their win. It has their win finally after. So, what's next? So they got to go on against Brett versus
Bonnie.
Bonnie, and so the Den's looking pretty good in the early rounds, then, aren't they?
Yeah.
Then,
Yeah, he's in a solid spot.
yeah, absolutely. Well, you're on my. I got you right now. I'm going to definitely vote. I
I
must
mean, I'd
actually
probably
lie
vote
to-
for him too.
Paul Press would be a great president, wouldn't he?
Paul Denuzio, 2021. Is that when we're voting?
2020?
No,
2020.
2020. Paul 2020. You can get in there. We can start voting now.
I'd run
Write in Paul. Please don't write in Paul.
I'd run on a ballot. I'd run a ballot of Jameson and Jack Daniels with my Vice and the rest of my cabinet. So anyway, we're getting off track here, aren't we?
This is what we do. We get off track.
But yes, this is true, Lucas. Best part of the accident is it's pissing people off, and you know what that means? That means it's doing It's
Yeah.
a job.
So the
You
greatest,
Doing its
nerds on
job
the
well.
internet.
arguably the greatest heel in wrestling, Chris Jericho, has said that you need to do whatever you can to make people hate you, even if it makes you look super lame. And that is what Cade is doing. That's a classic heel move.
It's another Jericho thing he says too. Sometimes you know when something hits. If something hits and there's dead silence, then it sucks. If something hits and people cheat, or something hits, people go, "Oh, I hate it."
Mhm.
That's
You did something.
As long as you get a reaction.
It's all about reaction.
Reaction is a good reaction. Yep.
And everybody thought that he was like going to drop it and everything else. No, double.
That's my girl.
down.
Well, it's the way they frame it that makes it work. Because Grace straight up said, "It annoys me. It annoys Christian. It makes everyone mad. Keep doing it." And that's what makes it work. And like you just said, Paul, it's like they know it's shit. And they have to keep it because they know it's shit. But it's the shit. It's the great shit.
Because I'm telling you also, what are these things? It's one of those things where sometimes something is so stupid that like it doesn't work. But if you do it long enough, you get to be like part of it. Almost becomes you're in on the joke. So it flips around to being great. Everybody's talking about it. Eventually, everybody's going to give into it. I'm telling you. Eventually, everybody's going to call for it. And when it does go away, they're going to be sad.
Well, like to me, it's the Finstock dynamic, or I guess Dagdino now technically, where it's like I hate him, and now I'm just giving into the madness. Like, fuck it, he's great. Give me all the Dagdino, give me all the Finstock, even though the mask gets burned now, unfortunately.
One thing I got to ask, going back to the match itself, though, Ben comes in with his song, and obviously he's trying to shed the Bagel Boy image, which.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very sad about. It was my one claim to fame on SCN Live. But so he comes with this song, though. He still has this song that's from the Bagel Boy image. Like, do you think that, like, can you have it both ways? Have the song and then have it be Bagel? Is it Bandit or is it the Bandit?
The Bandit. See, my view on it is I am very supportive. I've had nicknames I don't like, and even though they aren't necessarily offensive in any way, they're just rub me the wrong way, so I don't like them. So I totally understand where he's coming from, and I'm 100% supportive of him wanting to change his name. But that song is spectacular, and it doesn't make sense anymore, really, with his new name. So I am very torn about it.
the way he framed it was, he doesn't mind the bagels. He doesn't like the boy part. He doesn't want to be the mean. Like
Right.
we call him the bagel. We call him the bagel man and the bagel bitch. I think he's down with that, which is why he
Bagel
kept the line of
bandit.
the song, "Stealing your bagel, stealing your bitch," which is
Right.
the greatest fucking line in any song of all time.
It's so
They
good.
kept it there because they
Right.
know that it works, and he's fine with it. He fucks with it. That's good.
Yeah.
Go Bandit. Yeah,
I think
exactly.
Bagel Bandit might be the
That's
best
true.
compromise, if that you know what I mean, where you're not Bagel Boy anymore, but you're still relating to your awesome theme song and what people know you as, and
Honestly, it's all on him. Like if he doesn't like it, then I'm fine not calling him that.
Yeah.
But personally, I really prefer Bagel Boy to Bandit. Because
Go ahead.
when I think of Bandit, I think of Angela's cat from The Office. And Angela's cat Bandit used to be called Garbage. So I automatically associate Bandit with garbage. Now
He's garbage. I found him in the garbage.
But I prefer Bagel Boy.
I actually have to say, too, the thing is, like, okay, he doesn't like it. I guess I get it. But, I mean, he went to New York. Everybody's chanting his name. It was an organic thing. It's something that happened organically. It's like, do you see Howard Stern's, the people in Howard Stern's show, do they get to, like, fight their nickname, or do they get to embrace it? You might not like it, but you embrace it because that's the show. That's what happened in the show. So, I mean, like, to me, you get over, to me, you get over it and you embrace it and go with it. That's my own opinion. Like, trying to change it to make yourself look cooler doesn't really work for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
I'm not going to say, it's his choice that he can do what he needs to do if he really feels that strongly about it. But if I was him, I would take Bagel Boy and run with it to the bank and keep it as long as it goes. I can tell you, someone like a Paul Oyama, no offense, I love Paul Oyama, someone like a Paul Oyama, though, would kill to have that kind of reaction that he got.
It's
Yeah.
true.
Mhm. Yeah.
Well, like to be fair though, the Bandit, like the idea of the Bandit, is what I think what makes it appealing to other people. Like again, because his thing is he's going to steal gimmicks. Like a picture came out, I think, like 2 weeks ago of him in studio taping with the Outlaw mask on.
Right.
I
Yeah.
think this Bandit idea, I think, is dope, and I am so mad I didn't come up with it first myself. I think if you run with that, it's amazing. Just you can't abandon that, or you can't entirely turn against it, or else you lose that sort of section of your fans. Like how I had to lean into the gaping chest wound thing, and I love it. It's great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
but you have to adopt it, or
You're
else you
welcome
get
for
brutally
you're welcome
murdered.
for that too.
Fuck you, Paul.
Here's something actually. It's true. What was it? James Jeremiah. That's right. Yeah, Jake hates Hotman, but we still do that too, don't we?
Yes,
But Jake's the hot man. Hannah's
Brandon
the hot
loves
man.
it, so
I
you know
know,
it's kind
sure.
of a.
Hannah's the hot man.
And all right, Shug, you know what? I know I get that. I get that, Sugar, but you know what? Like, think about you think Baba Booey is not degrading sounding. I mean, you think all like that's. I get it's degrading a little bit, but it's still. If you could take control of that and own that, that's that's the best thing you can do with it.
So,
I mean, I got a nickname at work one day.
is
I'll
it pretty
tell
Limp
you a story.
Bizkit?
No, you know what it is? I was working at the front desk for like my first week on the job, and they left me alone at the front desk. I got a call at the front desk saying that a bus had crashed into a building, and it was a call I hadn't taken before. So I transferred down to the back, and while I was explaining it, I stumbled over my words, and so the guy hung up the phone and talked to the guy who was my trainer. Said, "You better get up there. He's floundering like a fish." I got nicknamed Flounder at that point. I still get called Flounder at work today, 11 years later. And it's still derogatory. It's degrading. But I fucking, whatever. It is what it is now. I laugh at it now. So, I mean, it's just, that's the kind of thing. I've been there. I get why it is. I still think when you're looking for a reaction, you're looking for the chutzpah you can get from that, you go with it.
Okay.
But again,
Wait.
my personal opinion.
Here's the important question.
Mhm.
And we'll get into it later about like the live event matches. If Brandon Hannah ever plays a live event, will they chant "Hot Man"?
Oh, you better fucking
Absolutely.
believe it. We
We're
will.
gonna start it. What are you talking about? Action Army's is gonna get it roaring.
It'll be us and then fucking Kyle in the front row, just screaming, "Hot Man, Hot Man!" We'll just like,
And that's the
"Fuck
thing
you
too.
doing?"
Yeah, we'll get it
I got to
going.
tell you, if Goddard has a live match, I would bet you're going to hear a big Bagel Boy shit.
Well, they did it in New York.
I know.
They told they go when he came out for the fucking wheel, and that was it.
It does.
That's true, AJ. Nobody remembers it. Not even, especially Ben and Drew don't remember it.
No.
But no, it's true, and that's what happened in New York, and it's going to happen even more that he doesn't like it. The fact that he's showing he doesn't like it is going to make it worse for him on some angles as well. It's one of those things like if
true.
something bothers you, you don't let people know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because people like pushing buttons. So even people like half the people are gonna be like, okay, we respect that, we won't do it anymore, and the other half to be like, this pisses us off, we're gonna do it louder because we know it gets a reaction out of him.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're right, like not talking about it may have been the better move as opposed to talking about it, because now
You have
people
lovers and
do
your
it
haters.
just
Yeah,
to get a
your
reaction.
fighters and your baiters.
Thank
Go-
you, Christopher. Thanks for showing up. Appreciate that. Have a great night.
Growing up as a kid who had a weird Asian name, like I would get weird nicknames all the time. I just lean into it, and fast forward today, no one calls me any of those names. People call me Natty Daddy. It's fucking great. You just gotta embrace it.
Yeah, daddy.
You know how you want to, you know how you change your nickname? Well, after your 5 minutes, you win a bunch of matches and you like dominate the league, and then you can choose your name at that
Yeah,
There you go.
then you
point.
dastardly, you kick some butt and impressive, and guess what? You're debonair now. Everyone's gonna go for it because you've earned it. So if he keeps doing what he's doing,
And we used to be multiple choice army or whatever it was,
That's right. The multiple choice. That's right. That's right.
and now we're just divorced, like Marriage Story. Boom, Oscars.
I will
There's
say,
like a new Oscar tonight.
we are trying to. We're not disrespecting. I'm not trying to disrespect Ben at all. This is his choice. I'm going to put forth. This is his choice. This is what he wants to do, and obviously Christian and Bear are supporting that. So we have no reason not to support him to that degree. Just saying what I just saying my opinion on how it went down myself. Okay.
that's what we do. We discuss. All right. Any final thoughts on the match itself, or do you want to move on to some speculations about things that are coming up?
I do want to point out that like RB3 barely lost in retrospect. Yeah, he would never hit his 5-pointer, and that's fair.
Again,
But the match did end up with both of Ben's strengths. I think it's different if the wheel isn't as favorable. It's hard to guarantee that RB3 wins because Ben is a strong competitor. However, this goes to show that RB3 is underrated because he can put up good games. He puts up good scores, and he only loses to good people.
It's true.
I think
Because we-
RB is way better than his record shows.
I agree.
Yeah.
absolutely is. Absolutely. So I want to say more, and I hope it doesn't. The problem we have with the amount of people we have in this league now is that when you lose your first
not
match in
playing.
the season,
Yeah,
it's going to get tougher to get a second match.
it's true.
Mhm.
Might be a while before we see him. I hope it's sooner than we think, but it's gonna be tough this season.
Now,
Like the stakes are so high right now.
now I will also argue the point that RB3 is in a better place than a lot being on SCN Live all the time. He has the ability to kind of like insert himself into the situation by having a talk with somebody, or you know what I mean. It just happens to be that way.
Plus, people love him on SCN Live, and so if the people are calling and asking for him, it would encourage him to be scheduled because that's who you want to be playing as people the audience loves. So if we're asking for him, you know, he does have a little bit more likelihood to play, I would think. But yeah, I'm interested to see how that works this season because you're right. It's going to be hard to get matches. So like, how's that going to work?
He just has to go the Brendan Meyer route and do really good in the free for all.
That's not everybody can do it.
Yeah.
Shook says that Ben still has 3 in his 5, so Ben never.
I'm aware. I was about to respond to him on here.
Okay.
Like again, when I say barely, I don't mean like, oh, it was that close. I mean like the match could have swung the other way. It's that simple. And yes, if questions were differently, RB3 could have been TKO'd, and that's totally fair. But at the same time, look at that wheel. The wheel wasn't favorable to Ben. The spins were. If it goes the other way, if it gets both of RB3's strength, or even just if it doesn't land on face side for Middle Earth, RB3 has a very good chance at winning that match.
Okay, fair enough.
Absolutely.
And Eric has it right there. Free for all can do that, just like Natty said, and Eric says, if you can have any kind of person, that is a spot where anyone can make their year.
Yep.
But if you do well in the free for all, it like sets you up for the rest of the season.
It's true. Free for all is.
And you have to capitalize on it.
Yep.
But
I know I've heard people make comments be like, free for all is just for fun. Like there's like no real like stakes per se, but it's not. Like it sets the tone, I feel like, for the rest of the season. You make your mark there. Plus, you know, if you win, it's awesome. Like I feel like it's a way more important match than some people give it credit for.
That's true. I think Jeremy's jumped up. Jeremy has a good point here that he's a teammate that's not Copster. RB3 could be very dangerous on teams.
In teams, yeah, he'd see someone that balances them right.
Right, absolutely. So that's another possibility. So,
ooh, I'm gonna look up who's in swag now. I feel like that'd be a good like speculation on a good teammate for him.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Well, Kelsey, you want to do the?
I think we are ready to move on to speculations. Okay. There is a lot of matches coming up. Let me see. We have not been using these, so I'm going to put it up right now.
Stop. Speculate and listen.
We have not been using those as much lately, but there we go. Yeah, we have a lot of interesting matches coming out. I am so excited. I feel like the season has started out really strong. And I mean, starting just on Monday, we have Tom and Paul versus Deep 13, which is a match I'm excited to watch. I want to see how Paul and Tom work together. They're both such strong competitors. Do they balance each other out well, or are they kind of like same knowledge? Where they'll each have the same holes? That's a team I'm really excited for this season. So I'm excited to see what happens.
Many people are predicting that they're going to be the team to beat. Maybe people are going to have them as being champions before the end of the year. I think that they are christening Tom a little too soon. I mean, I am not blind. I see how well Tom performed, but it's only been like 3 or 4 matches still, and we've had other fast starts before. But we do have Paul Preston, who has, even though he was a rookie last year too, definitely proved himself quite a bit. I'm not gonna lie, they're a dangerous team. If they, I would not be surprised to see them wipe the floor with Deep 13. I wouldn't be surprised. Now, Deep 13 is a good team too.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's the thing. Deep 13 is a strong team. It's against other people. Who knows? We could be like we are for sure think they're going to win. But Tom and Paul, man.
Deep 13 is a good team, but they're not a great team. Tom and Paul are a great team. Individually, they can both win the singles title. And people who win singles titles normally win championships. Founding Fathers, they've both won. Corruption, Mike probably would have won if he didn't jump the gun. Shire Wolves, Rachel nearly won, and Clark nearly won. The great teams have chances to win titles on their own.
Yep.
I don't think Whitney or Alonso have that. Tom and Paul could both do it. If they're playing a title match against each other, you can bet your ass they both have equal chances of winning that. They are phenomenal. There's no way I don't see them becoming the most dangerous rookie team this season.
I agree with most of what you're saying because, like, if you just put two random people together, you're not going to do much better than Tom and Paul. Tom and Paul are both elite level players, and I don't think people are valuing Paul enough. He's so good, and Tom is obviously a monster. But I also think you're also underestimating Deep 13. Like, Alonso is probably one of the most underrated players in the league today, and I will stand by that. Whitney Seibold is, in my opinion, the most unlucky competitor in the league. He's just been so unlucky. So good.
He has scored in his teams like over 30 points with his teams, critically acclaimed, and with whatever, I forgot the name of their team. Yeah, no, again, old man.
Self-Righteous Brothers.
Thank you. He's not like he ever gets trounced. He gets high scores in all of his matches, and he's just I agree with Nat, unluckiest competitor I've ever seen.
And that luck has to turn around at some point. It could be this next match.
Could be. Now, Duralde had the problem is neither Duralde or Seibold are great gamesmanship players. That's it. Like Duralde is I think he doesn't have any. I don't say any clue about the game, but he definitely doesn't study the game itself. He sees good knowledgeable people. They both have both knowledges. They can probably compete well with Paul and Tom, but
that's true.
Playing the game, I would give that to Paul Preston even as a rookie because he was learning all year long.
The thing is, though, we've never seen them compete really with managers. Though, have people been teaching them and being like, so maybe they're coming in a little bit stronger with their gameplay now because we don't know what's going on behind the scenes.
Yeah, managers think are a real game changer because you never know like which players need a coach, like which players work best if they're extra coachable. I think you never know, like they could surprise some people.
Well, like I think we can learn from experience about how these players react to managers. Alonso's obvious with the family challenge. Whitney, I think, could just use one because he's a iffy player without one. Tom and Paul have very clear instances of when they needed managers.
Yep.
Let's talk about Tom. Tom would not be the player he is without Video Drew. As a team together, she helped guide him, she kept him focused, and she helped pick wheel slices. She was basically his de facto manager / teammate, and that's what made them such a great team. Paul against Ben Bateman. If Paul had a manager in his corner, that Seven Samurai challenge that made Ben pitch a perfect game would not have happened. He would have lost the challenge, and Paul would have gone to the singles title. That close. That close. The only difference was a manager. Having one is going to make that team dangerous because they both need one. And Kate's a good manager from what we've seen.
Although
she's going to help carry that team.
Yeah, it's true.
On SCN Live, it doesn't make any manager mistake. We don't know where it is. We have no idea where it is.
Well, if you want, we can get into that because there is this super secret trade that Christian mentioned. And he said it had to be announced sometime this week, which means probably a spoiler.
Yeah, that's what he definitely said because he legitimately said there's a trade made. I can't announce it because there's spoilers, but I'll be able to announce it next week. So it's either something to do with the RB3 Goddard match or the Paul and Tom match or what's the other match being?
Bonnie and Brett.
Bonnie and Brett.
Yeah. Well, if this is a managerial mistake, maybe someone's getting traded. However, I did want to sort of throw out there, I think Alonso and Whitney are going to get traded.
Traded?
Traded.
Oh, traded.
I think my go-to thing would be I think the Dungeon doesn't have a lot of really solid teams right now. They have a lot of great individual players, but the only premier team they have is Adam Witt and Eric Zipper.
Okay.
I think Alonso and Whitney could be good for them. I could see maybe doing a 3-for-2 trade to the Droogs or something like that.
A 3-for-2.
Basically trading Alonso and Whitney as a team for 3 of Kaiser's players.
Huh.
Yeah, that way it's sort of an equal trade because he is getting an established team and 2 great individual players. But because of that, he needs more of a deficit, and the only way he does that, because he has mostly rookies, is to abandon more of his team.
But basically, then the Droogs will have a lot of rookies at that point because they already traded away Video Drew for 2 youngsters. Then they have not youngsters.
But his team is mostly rookies, which is why he's not holding up great. I think the only established players he has is Ethan Irwin, Alonso, and Whitney.
Yeah,
having a full rookie faction could be interesting. But I mean, and Kaiser just one like pitch out there. But I do think one of these teams is getting traded in full.
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised either. Here's another thing to say. If you watch enough SCN Live, you watch the groups enough, you hear little drips and drips, you can kind of put things together. Another thing I just said that Christian said recently, somebody asked him about something about managers, yada, 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 yada. And Christian's answer was, or sorry, who's going to win? He said, the FinStock Exchange is a good choice, blah, blah, blah. But his other quote was, but I think Kaiser's smarter than he lets on.
I saw that.
Mhm.
Or something to that effect, which makes me says, well, so that might be because that's when did that anything happen until recently. Maybe that's a trade involving Kaiser again that he's picking up.
Yeah.
I mean, unless he's thank you, Sal. Yes. That's the running joke is that I'll let you get rid of that joke was I was monitoring Roka's stream and Roka was talking to Saul, and at the end, after talking to me the whole time, he said thank you, Saul Denuzio, for moderating the chat. That's so now I'm Saul Denuzio also. But anyway, but he said that. So
you're small limb disc it now.
Small limb. Wow. You would not know. I'm Italian, not Irish. So
small penises?
that's I've been told. I don't know.
Okay, I made a joke on my Facebook
The
about
Irishman
looking
became
after
very
hours,
interesting
but I
now.
mean, like, this is definitely an After Dark episode, apparently. Sorry, guys.
We'll never know what's in here.
Anyway,
my
but no, that's right. So maybe Kaiser is smarter than he knows. I mean, that's what it is. Unless although backing up a little bit, he also does say that it also could be involving Kaiser's trade for Video Drill. That could be what he's talking about as well.
That's a
We can't
good trade.
That was a good trade.
That's why that was a great trade. Absolutely. What is? I'm not saying anything about the FinStock Exchange. I didn't say anything about them. I said they're doing good.
wait.
They're doing good.
Are we allowed to diss the FinStock Exchange?
Yeah, we're allowed to, as long as you do it
We
respectfully.
were allowed to, but I really like them. So I won't be dissing them.
Good question, Chris. Good question. No, we're allowed to do it as long as you do it respectfully. I mean, I called
Yeah, you could
Roka
disrespect.
fourth round all the time.
I mean, I don't know who's in it besides the big four and Dimolanta, and then there's Grey Drake, and then BC, who haven't entered and getting seeing a match. Yeah, I want to get drinks with BC. He seems like a cool guy.
He's great.
I met him very briefly in New York, and he's really cool. I've been heard Billy talks to him all the time, so he's really cool. So I think he's gonna be awesome.
Everyone has friends.
Fair.
Yeah,
Chris.
sorry, Chris. After he's on Chill and Schmo Bates and AAA, then I can just talk him. Yeah.
No, actually, Roka's growing on me a lot. To be honest, he's a good guy. So.
Yes.
I've got news for you. Everyone I've talked to said he's a great dude. Fuck that.
Anyway,
They're gonna hate me.
you can. So that's our speculation on the trade. I mean, we'll have to find out. Maybe it'll be good. Maybe it'll be bad for Kate. I don't know. But I have a hard time saying that she made a manager mistake as far as a trade goes. I just have a hard time thinking. It seemed like more of like an in-play thing. She said it like this. The way she said it kind of seemed like it was more about gameplay. But I guess we'll find out.
Guess we'll see.
All right, ready to talk about the next match that's coming up?
Yeah, let's do it.
Bonnie versus Brett. Brett, you got this. Sorry.
Money wins. Next question.
Wait a minute.
I have faith in Brett. Brett is going to he's been secretly studying this whole time. He's been pretending like he hasn't been watching movies online. It's been like this very secret plan of his for this whole entire time, and he's just going to come out flying, and you guys are all going to be feeling really bad about yourselves after that.
I actually have said that there's a chance, like I said before, that Brett can pull a guy. I don't know if he's got enough confidence to do it, but if Brett starts ranting or Brett starts drunk answering questions, it might be enough to distract Bonnie. Bonnie doesn't seem like she'd be someone who would like be able to focus on things like as well as somebody actually should.
I can see that.
So I mean, she could. So maybe Brett just throws her off just enough, and the wheel hits right. I wouldn't sleep on Brett. I mean, I'm not going to say he's going to win definitively, but I don't sleep on him as much as other people do. Let's put it that way.
I mean, any given Sunday, anyone can win.
Right. Guy
Yes.
Merle. No one ever thought that was going to happen.
Yep.
We knew it was gonna happen. Let's be fair here.
We did.
I mean, we know.
Brett winning this match is as obvious as Joker winning Best Picture. It's not gonna happen.
Wow.
Mm.
Boom, throw down.
He's so petty.
Why am I in a bitchy mood today?
Today?
I like the Oscars. I made fuck you guys. I love the Oscars were great. I made $100. I drank a lot of water. And it's been a good day. Why am I in a bitchy mood?
I'm glad this is the first Oscars in a while I have not put money on because I was off. I always win. I always do. I wouldn't have won this year.
I always
Pleasantly, I wouldn't have won this year.
I was pleasantly surprised.
Yes,
I gotta say,
me too.
from my class action poll we did, it was Jarvie and me, and Billy did it, and Jarvie kicked our asses. I'm not gonna lie, he kicked our asses.
Oh no, friend of the show, Tony Heald. He, like I saw, he put 10 pounds on Ford v Ferrari winning because we won. He get 1,000 pounds, and he's like, "Well, fuck the Oscars." Even though I had no reason to do that, I just wanted money. Fuck you for being smart and non-traditionalist.
Okay, I can do this.
Oh, listen here. Paul wants to murder me.
I will tell us real
Just
quick.
Paul?
I will tell us real quick. On our show, Chill to Action, I do a segment called This or That, where I give the guest two options. It could be anything. You start, for example, I always start out with, are you team guy or team trader? And I let them choose. Well, because I was looking for random questions at one point, I don't even know how I came up with this one. It was just like off the cuff. I went, it's Alex Spence or a gaping chest wound. And most of the time, people pick gaping chest wounds because that's what they would rather have. But
except Ben and Drew. Except Ben and Drew.
That's true. Ben and Drew did. So that's what it was for a long time. So
Who was it?
but I
It
don't
was
like
someone else.
embrace
Was it Chandru?
Yeah,
Chandru. It was Chandru because he loves me. Chandru's my best friend.
Chandru's the best.
Chandru's great.
There was a couple of people that act towards the end. Even I think Christian actually chose you too because you.
Oh yeah, because Christian knew me as, oh yeah, you're the one from Call to Action. He didn't know my name, but he knew my face.
Because a gaping chest wound
wound
can't buy tickets. That's why.
I bought tickets.
A gaping chest
Yeah, but a
wound
chest
can't.
wound-
Oh yeah, it makes sense.
And that's
This is
true.
what
This
you
was
keep
that.
in
That was
mind.
actually my favorite. My favorite answer was when Bibiani said he won Adelaide with a gaping chest wound.
And okay, side note, because we haven't been able to talk about this in a while. Fuck everyone who says Bibiani's a heel and a pretentious asshole. That's one of the nicest people on the
I love
planet.
Bibiani so much.
Honestly, I don't understand it. He's the most babyface person there is.
Oh no,
Okay.
straight up! Like having worked with him a few times on like various projects here, every time he is so thankful for being invited on. If anything goes wrong, he said, "I'll promise you something else because I really want to make this up to you." And he pulled me aside and talked to me for like 15 minutes at the Spectacular about how much he loved the channel, everything we were doing. Talked to me about Emma and Dollface and everything in the fan leagues. The man is a fucking saint. Like I've met almost no one nicer in this entire community, let alone a competitor.
Okay,
Wow.
so at the expo, so I'm walking around. I go up to his table, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, come get a picture!" Like he was like almost more excited to hang out with me, and I was just like, "You're so nice." Like it was just like I totally don't. I don't understand the argument that he's held because on a personal note, I feel like I'm a face if I were to, as a person, to be something, but I still have my moments. And I feel like that's Bibbs. Bibbs is a face who may occasionally make a little comment, but he is human and he's a face.
I mean, he tried to be a heel before and it didn't really work out because he was too likable. Like I remember like when we won the award, it was like everything you guys do is awesome. He's such a good guy. Like I can never buy him as a heel.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna be the devil's advocate to a degree, not entirely. 'Cause I love Bibbs. I've talked to Bibbs plenty of times. When he had that backstage incident, or not incident, but his call in, he was upset about it. I talked to him afterwards privately, and I think the problem is not that he's a heel. He's not a heel. Some of his things that he's done in wrestling could be considered heelish moves, the way he does it. But the difference between wrestling and Schmodown, for example, is the fact that when wrestling there's a gimmick, a storyline, the matches are rigged. And this one, the gimmick and a storyline, the matches are still competitive. So you have to do whatever it takes to win. A good guy doesn't do all that stuff in a wrestling sense in the storyline, but he's got to do some of the stuff that he wouldn't do necessarily. So the way he challenged some things would be considered, if it was scripted, they would consider it a heelish move. Not that he's a heel. He's no way a heel. He just has some moments where he's said or done something that's been more heelish, and it's not the same thing as saying. Another thing I think he has a problem with is he seems to think when people call him a heel, or I think they're attacking him personally as like a bad guy or something. I mean, we call Andrew Guy a heel, and I think Andrew Guy is one of the nicest people I've ever met in my life too. That's the difference. He's not saying that he's a bad guy. He's a beautiful human being. I mean, he is one of the nicest people I've ever talked to, ever met.
True.
So I just think he has
because you're a bad guy does not mean you're a bad guy.
right. That's exactly what it is. So
I think that was very well done. I think people usually can like mix up wrestling with Schmodown because they're two very different things. Wrestling, good guys are going to do good guy things even if it hurts them, but you have to treat the Schmodown as a sport. You have to do whatever you can to win, and I don't think you should get shit for that. I think you can remain a good guy and still, make challenges when you think you should make challenges.
absolutely, that's because you need to do what you need to do to win. And a couple chat talks here for a second. I was never in Houston, never cheering for Bateman. I was always cheering for Guy. This is definitely fake news here. So
If
Paul
I was
definitely
in
wasn't
Houston,
crying.
I would be cheering for Bateman. Just
that's
saying.
spectacular. I kind of like maybe backed off.
Paul was definitely crying in the front row when Ben won the belt. But also, don't watch it back and
I
don't
was
watch me
crying.
fawning over him on the stage. Just don't look for that. It's fine.
I cried so hard when you won the belt. It's kind of embarrassing.
Oh no, I'm aware. I was next to you the entire night, and you were a constant mess.
But anyway, clip it out. Go ahead, clip it out for Houston.
No. Here, no. Clip out me just sucking Bibiani's dick about how great of a person he is, because he needs to hear it. Any chance I'll get to talk about how great that man is, I will give it. Like, even him on Twitter is so nice because he's so respectful of opinions and like gives you time to talk about yours and then replies like, "Well, that's a great perspective," and I like it. And here's mine. And like he's such a good person.
That's the thing. He's never like, "You're wrong. Here's the right opinion." It's like interesting take on that. Here's my view.
And he's intelligent about it too.
And he's so smart. I love.
Like I've always said that. Like when people like bash him because he has very unique film opinions, obviously. And quite honestly, there's times I vehemently disagree with them. But I would rather read one intelligent review from Bibbs that I vehemently disagree with than like half the shit out there that like would agree with me, to be honest with you. And I really want a quick I also say I want to shout Saul. Well, thank you. We appreciate the shout out, Saul. We do look at so.
When are we getting Saul on the show?
They're gonna have Saul. I'm planning to get. He's been actually bugging me because he thinks I'm not going to get him on. I want to get Saul on. I'm waiting for the time he has his debut match. I think that's the best time to get him on.
I mean, Saul also thinks I'm nice. I forgot where he said it, but he thinks I'm nice. So I want him on the show.
That's fairly true. That's fairly true.
Right.
I am the right person here, so I don't know what you're talking about.
No, you're the top person here. Natty's the right person here.
I agree with
I'm
that.
the correct person here.
Oh man! So where were we? Oh, we're off
All
track.
right. We barely talked about Brett and Bonnie, but I think we've all accepted that
It's gonna be a
you
fun
guys are
match.
wrong.
I think we covered it.
All right. How far ahead do we want to speculate? We probably want to wait for the next week until next episode, I would think. Unless you guys want to talk about the next Monday match, which
I think we can. I think we could talk about like the unscheduled matches.
Okay.
Yeah, good. Shoot him out there.
Oh, okay.
What
I was
we'll
gonna.
talk about.
Okay. So here, I actually sent the list. The first one we have that's not scheduled is I don't believe it's scheduled. Odd Couple versus Who's the Boss 2. I think for a title shot. I don't know.
That's gonna be a good match. No, I can't. I think the number one contendership is Family vs. Corruption. I think that's the number one contendership.
Right.
Match.
Right.
Odd Couple, Who's the Boss is kind of like for later on. So the winner of that will probably face the winner of whoever gets the belt at that point, either Founding Fathers or Family vs. Corruption, I think, but I don't know that for sure.
Founding Fathers or the family.
Right, exactly. I agree. I just have to say that for whatever. But anyway, let's talk about the first one. Who's the Boss versus Odd Couple 2. I gotta say, Who's the Boss is gonna win that one because I just feel like Ben has made it. Ben, as much as a trader, has made a lot of gains every month he's been like doing this. And that match with Odd Couple was a little while ago. I feel like he really wants to avenge himself, but it's gonna have to depend on. It's going to depend on the wheel. It's going to depend on the game because sometimes it's going to depend honestly on Mark Andreyko. Because Andreyko during that first match, like just was unfucking
He was
believable.
on fire. It's true.
On fire. So
And also now that they have played them before and they're replaying with them again, Ben studies people. I feel like, I mean, he did it back then, but I feel like it's tenfold now. So like he has been, I'm sure he has thoroughly been looking at old matches with Odd Couple. He is probably even 10 times more prepared this time. So I feel like Who's the Boss is a force we reckon with against them.
I will say that I agree with somebody in the chat and say that it doesn't really matter who's doing this match because the family is going to have the belt in a couple of months.
I think that was just Paul on an alternate account.
That's it is not actually. This is actually. I'm assuming it's actually Andrew. So I got you, Andrew, in winning against corruption. Not unlike your partner, former traitor that he is.
Yeah, and at least we can decide who's going to win.
What? Decided to win.
Kelsey hasn't voted on the poll. She's like,
I
You
yeah,
haven't.
I want everyone to win.
Wait,
I didn't
you didn't vote in the poll between family and corruption?
No.
Between family and Chance's teammate and Chance?
Kelsey, I'm with you.
I am friends with everybody involved. I don't want to.
You can't steal Ben's disses like that. It's not fun.
I am spreading the love of the disses at this point.
See, what you can say is Emperor Ming and Prince Voltan are to take down this Flash Gordon loving bitch. All right. I think those are the Flash Gordon characters. I don't know who's who, but I wanted to get into it because like I commented or I voted on it, and immediately Mike called me out like "fuck you." I'm like, let's be fair here. Andrew Guy is my favorite competitor of all time. Mike Kalinowski is my 5th favorite.
Okay.
You're close.
You're
so close to Mike.
Let me say something about Mike Chance. He's actually, his ears are ringing. No one watches like the chat board. He hears about. He's so quick to respond to that kind of stuff. He's like almost got like, I think he's got like some kind of an alert that whenever his name is written or heard, yes, find out somebody's talking to me. Somebody's talking about me. But that being said, I think he's going to be too distracted. I do. I don't think he's hard back in it yet. I think he's still distracted from the spectacular, and I think with that in mind, you don't think Andrew fucking Guy is gonna distract the hell out of him during that match? I mean, they're gonna smack talk each other, but I think Drew will totally get into Mike's head much more than Mike will get into his head.
See, I feel like that's probably the big difference with this match is what mindset is Mike in. If he is coming back strong, he's on a second wind, he's got the drive again. I feel like the family has something to be worried about. If he's still recovering from just what he was going through at Spectacular, it will be hard. I will admit. I'm hoping to see him in a better mind space than he was in that match.
So, like Kelsey, I'm not going to choose because Mike Kalinowski is in my top 3, and
he's in my top 3 too. Yep.
But I will say that I think Andrew Guy is his kryptonite because Mike is a very emotional player, and no one gets under people's skin better than Guy.
It's true.
I think that's the key to victory.
The only question I will say, and this is me trying to play devil's advocate. I'm voting for Guy, and I think he will win. Is the debonair aspect of Drew? He's
debonair now. Will he still do the same things he's been doing? Or
I think he will. But I do think that I think he might be not struggling to find. I think he's gonna, for a little bit, he's gonna struggle to find the difference between Dastardly and Debonair as far as gameplay goes.
Well, I think it's also. Go ahead.
I was just finished, but I think that all goes away during the match. Like during the match, he's gonna be his competitive juices will be flowing.
I don't think he can help himself.
Yeah, it's just I kind of agree. I think that even if he's the face of all faces, he's still going to just be dastardly because I think that's just what he wants to do. That's just
and
how
I love
he
him for it.
And I love him for it too.
What we shouldn't discount is, unless I'm mistaken, this is Mike's first match since Spectacular.
He got knocked the fuck out.
It should also be Shannon's first time as an official manager, which will change the entire perception of this. I think this is monumental for corruption. This is their make or break as a faction.
Well, I mean, is it really her first time managing though? Is it really her first? She wasn't
her first official time managing, which means she's allowed to make challenges. She's allowed to come in and give advice. And granted, that may have been the situation at Spectacular. I don't remember.
It was
But
in
the
Orlando.
officialness of it is different.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I could say that, but
Oh, wait, Kelsey's indecisiveness is biting her in the ass.
I think that was more comment on the debonair thing. Thank you very much.
Which we need to point out again. Amazing name. But see,
Where's
Drew,
the shirt?
I never doubted you. I voted for you the instant the poll went up. I was one of the first 5 votes.
I
You can
voted for
trust
him.
me. You know I'm great.
I have all the faith in the world. All the faith in the world. I want. That's about Andrew was in the chat. I was saying this earlier. Andrew's claiming there's no stakes in the free for all. That's his point. He's making he's trying to make a point because they're going to lose only things to gain. That's not it's not a bad take actually.
I think there's only
that's
stakes
actually
to
true.
lose if you're one of the last few, or if you're just good enough to get through it all.
I guess
Like on the last table, maybe.
Yeah.
Like there's just because there's a perception with the last group. Maybe, but it's true. It's true though. Like it doesn't affect your record at all if you lose. Like whatever.
Yeah.
If you lose, you're out in 2 rounds, whatever. But if you win or are the MVP, staying the whole entire time while standing.
Well, it's like John Humphrey, Brand Chandler, like they had to like nut up or shut up because they were some of the last few, and then winning was very possible. Compare that to like Greg Alba, who came in like 13 last year. And like, I'm not gonna win. Let's just piss myself at the desk and be funny, and that works, and that's fine. You just have to know like what your status is as a competitor going into the free for all and know if it's possible for you to win.
So I mean, but I guess he's just talking about stakes being the word. If it is true, stakes means he doesn't want to lose. If that's that's the definition of the word stakes, and there are no stakes in the free for all. There's only the possibility of success and moving forward. It's more you have potential, not stakes.
Yeah.
Which I can agree with. I can completely agree with.
I totally agree with that. Makes sense.
I want a steak.
Shocking that I agree with Drew at this
That's
point.
all I eat anymore is steak. It's wonderful.
But so any other matches that we should discuss or no? Or
I should probably have that pulled up, shouldn't I? Snyder versus Irwin.
Oh man.
I think to me that's an easy pull. I think Irwin has it all day.
I think Irwin takes this.
I think it depends on what Jeff you're getting because sometimes Jeff has just been like I don't know. I feel like
In
Jeff
singles?
could.
I think the problem with Jeff is
true.
I think the problem with Jeff is he's so inconsistent. Like there are movies that he just won't watch because he wants nothing
Out
to
of
do with
principle.
it. Yeah, and if he gets those questions, he just won't even attempt. So I think it boils down to which Jeff we're getting and which questions he's going to get.
Yeah, I agree. I think with the right questions and the right mindset, and I think he could win. I'm not saying I think he's gonna win. I think Irwin's probably got it, but I don't think you should totally discount Jeff. I feel like it's closer than you think.
Ethan Irwin isn't unbeatable either. He has his weaknesses too, but I think more likely than not, he's gonna walk away with the victory.
well, I would also argue that Irwin's weaknesses are not going to be Jeff Snyder's strengths, though, either.
That's true. But also, Irwin's fairly new to his manager, right? So they're still kind of figuring. Roxy has been working with Jeff, and she knows how to help him. And so, what?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. He's answered 4 questions correct and 2 free for alls that have been blacked out for both. And yet he's still the greatest star in the history of the Showdown. That's true. That's very, very true. And that's, you know what?
Fair point.
It's true.
The only argument against your thoughts, Drew, is that the kid definitely made a good showing and kind of went up from there. But if he was good, he probably would have done it anyway, though.
Well, like for reference, if he didn't have that run, and if he didn't become Baby Ani's teammate, he would have been forgotten. Even if he did make the run, if he wouldn't become Baby Ani's teammate, if he wouldn't have gone, if he had lost to Drew after that, he would have been forgotten.
See, I
Like,
think
it was-
the kid. Go ahead.
I just think it was the legacy he did after that made him stand out. John Humphrey isn't in a position to do that because he's part of the Real Rejects.
I
As I
think
mentioned earlier, they have 1 win, and that's it.
it's a mix of 3 things. I think it is his staying power in free for all, like how long he lasted, his personality. If he wasn't such a freaking adorable person and fun to watch, if he was just like kind of a grump, just sitting up there not being entertaining, we wouldn't really care if he was there the whole time. We're like, okay, whatever, he's answering questions. And then his partnership in Shazam with Bibiani, I think all 3 drove him up. So like it wasn't one thing, it was like the perfect storm of things that brought him to where he is, if that makes sense.
That's true. I mean, so there is potential. There's potential to do something, but you have to have everything else still fall into place the right way.
That was what I didn't have. Fuck.
What?
What?
AJ added one in the chat that I don't have here because I forgot to grab it.
Oh, there you go.
Oh my gosh.
I think it's Dewberry, no question, but I still hurt saying that.
That is it's gonna be a painful one to watch. Can you just imagine like the promos and Makuga just being like wild berries?
just think of it in like as part of like the for the intro of like full-on character. Makuga's like, "Well, Barry, trip," and Dewberry's just like, "I'm a heel now, and I'm gonna fucking destroy you," and he just TKOs him, and we'll all feel like shit.
I'm getting teary-eyed.
There's no feeling good after that match. I don't think there's any way to be happy.
It's like Houston all over again.
It's like,
Except for it's not our dads, it's our uncles who are getting divorced.
yeah, it's our drunk uncles that we love, and they're like,
I'll be happy because I root for chaos.
you root for chaos, you don't like corruption. What the hell, man?
Because they're fake chaos. They're not real chaos. And your
You
guy is real
No.
chaos.
No, you're just
I don't think
discount
Guy
Billy
is
Belford.
chaos. He's very
You'll
strategic.
you'll suck at the altar of Shannon Barney all day. When it comes to Mike Kalinowski, you just back off.
I like Shannon what Shannon has done, except for the fact that she copies Drew. But I do like the fact that, I mean, she's obviously learning from the best. That's what I'll take it as. She's fun.
Imitation is the strongest form of flattery. So.
She's not copy Drew. She takes Mike's shtick from season 5 and elevates it.
Who took his shtick from Drew?
It's a different shtick.
Mike has been kind of riding in Drew's coattails for a while, just like Drew says.
You can't just say that because you like Drew. They're different people. Drew is an agent of chaos in a form of violence and destruction.
There can be
Mike
heels.
Drew is violent destruction. Mike is like processed and like careful destruction.
Yeah,
it's extremely different.
I think
when he has the chairman behind him, when he has Christian behind the whole corruption thing.
And ever since then, he's just been saying the system's corrupt and he fights against it. Drew's just like, "Fuck you, I'm better than you," and that works. They're different heels.
Yeah, Guy to me is chaotic evil, and Kalinowski is lawful evil. They're
Thank you.
Very different.
I just don't interpret Guy necessarily as chaotic. I feel like his heelness and stuff is strategic. Like, not like a strategic in like a gameplay way, but like he knows what he's saying. He's not just being wild and just like shoot from the hip.
It's strategic to bark at a competitor. Totally.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is. It throws people up. I feel like, okay.
You're saying
I don't feel like he's chaotic per se.
You're saying Drew's not strategic with how he does?
Okay, no.
See, that's what I'm saying. He's strategic. So how is he
He's chaotic like the Joker's chaotic. He walks in, gets his shit done, and leaves.
There's chaotic Jokers and there's more strategic Jokers.
I would say like middle ground between Ledger and Hamill. It is careful and it is
more
thought
of the
through,
Hamill
but it's not as like processed as Mike is. Like, Guy is the hammer, Mike's the chisel. It's different. And guys can come in like, "Fuck you, how am I not chaotic?" Or "Fuck you, how am I anything like Mike?"
Either way, that's it. I mean, let's say going back to the Wild Berries, I started this whole transition or tangent. Wild Berries. I do think it's going to be fun to watch. I do think it's going to be a fun match to watch. They're both going to get drunk. They're both going to get wild, and they're both going to be yelling at each other finally for once. So it's not going to be a great match, but it's going to be a fun match. And yes, it'll probably be Dewberry at the end.
We've made the transition from Wild Berries.
But he can Makuga it. He can randomly pull crap out of his ass and be like, "Well, I won." So like,
Makuga can do it.
Pull crap out of your ass. That's how it works, Kelsey.
Not questions. Pull questions, answers out of his ass. You know what I mean, Adelaide. Jesus.
Makuga does have a chance because he does have these random weird runs in him.
Has his pulls.
Especially
now that the questions are started over again. Like, these are questions that were in when he was at his strongest.
You get the blue fairy question again, and and run wild with it. So I mean, who knows? Makuga
the difference is Makuga isn't in the movie space right now. Like, okay, all his other seasons, he's been competing. He's been at junkets. He's been doing stuff for channels. He doesn't have that now. He's doing a food show on the History Channel. I think you guys can
Yes.
correct me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Eating history. March
Thank
11th.
you. That's right.
All right.
March 11th, I think.
Let's just
He's
be
not in
honest
the movie
here.
space.
Makuga
Dewberry's
was
always
never-
in the movie space.
Makuga was never in the movie space very much. He thought Bad Boys 2 was the cinema. That's what he like. That was his newest film for him. That's what he wanted to watch all the time.
Yep.
That's still a movie though. He's not doing movies right now. He's doing. food.
I
That's great.
met Makuga at Spectacular at New York, and he still talks to me about Bad Boys 2 and 3 all night long. So don't worry, he's still in the movie space enough.
I still think Dewberry has it, no question, because Dewberry is overall a stronger competitor, and we've seen that in their matches.
I've predicted Dewberry. I'm just saying that.
Yeah, I think I agree with Paul. I think Makuga has a puncher's chance, but I mean, the puncher's chance will only get you so far. I think Dewberry has this 95%.
Well, you know what?
Makuga has like a 1 in 100%, 1 in 100 chance.
I feel like 70-30.
Let me throw something out there. The first round questions have been slightly easier. Makuga can get that and match the first round. It's all about the wheel. And what if Makuga spins Will Smith? I mean, you never know. You never completely know. Just saying.
Okay, you convinced me. 80-20.
There you go. I'm going 80-20. I'm going.
I said I'm going 70-30. I feel like I was edging up a little bit. I think Dewberry has it, but
I'll go
discount Makuga.
1917. Boom.
1917?
It's a movie.
Oh, I know it's a movie, but we're talking about percentages.
You want to know a movie that was set in 1917 BC? It's called Star Wars. And you know who's competing in Star Wars? Adam Witt and my husbando, Sean Sullivan.
Sean Sullivan knows his stuff from everything I've been
Yep.
told.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know Adam Witt. I didn't know Adam Witt was going to be a Star Wars player. Did anybody realize that at first until recently?
I didn't until it was announced. I'm like, I was pleasantly surprised. I'm excited to see him. I love Adam Witt. I'll watch him play any match. So I'm excited to see him not, having some more opportunity to compete. Because
I'm excited there's going to be more Star Wars players. I think
yes,
that league is going to be if you get the right amount of people, it could be as interesting as any of them.
Star Wars is my favorite league, and so it's just I only get to see matches like a couple times a year, and it's frustrating. So now that I'm gonna get to see a brand new group of players, hopefully it matches more often, I am thrilled.
I just want to throw one more thing out there real quick. It's not just 10 here. If anybody thought Guy was going to be a full face, they're in for it.
This is the proof that the debonair
I'm
is
excited.
just a front. He's still a heel. He's still going to destroy the game. Anyway,
I'm
Yes.
excited.
Adam is so nice. I talked to him for like half an hour at Spectacular about like setting up events in New York and stuff.
Yeah, he was
Like-
psyched in Spectacular when he was talking to us too. He wants to. He's going to come on to Chill at some point with Paul Preston. Both we're both going to be on Chill. He said. at
I
some
better
point.
be. I better be fucking on that. I better be. I gave Paul his cat, or not his catcher, for like the only way is whey protein and shit, and I also called him the greatest. Like he's a great trivia answerer. He's not winning titles, but he is winning titles now, and that's the important part. Anyway, my husbando, Sean Sullivan, I think he takes this no question. He is studying his ass off. He's going deep with his knowledge, taking every source possible. I think Sean gets this, and he'll be the next person to challenge Damon for the title.
I will say that I don't know either of their levels. I really don't. But
Yeah.
I do know that I will agree that I know that Sean is setting his ass off. I know that
Yeah.
Jillian has been asking people to ask questions and throw more questions and more questions her way. So she's going to be, I think he's definitely going to be prepared for nothing else. So
Yeah, that's absolutely.
anyway, so
After that, I think all the matches are scheduled or like slated.
I guess we'll talk about them next time then. All right, so we can move on.
Or we actually one more that we had confirmed
Okay.
is Vinny and his teammate. I forget who it is versus Rachel and Ben.
Isn't that video Drew?
Yeah.
No, she's
Vinny or
Rick Hong.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Tom Hong.
Who
Tom.
was-
I'll do my little quick search to find his teammate.
can't
Vinny
remember.
Mancuso and and is it Mugen?
Thank you. That's right.
Oh,
I-
whatever.
I know that Vinny's good just because of the space he's working in. It's hard for me to bet against Rachel because I know she's got a fire in her this season,
Yes, she does.
and she
Rachel.
nearly beat Roka, and she's
Is-
beaten Paul Preston. She's beaten some great people, and she's only lost to great people.
Yeah, and barely.
Right, yeah.
Like it's,
Yeah.
and like we've seen her in teams with not a great team match, but like with the right pairing, she's just gonna elevate her. I'm so excited. I'm backing my girl Rachel. I think she's got it.
I think Rachel's definitely got a fire lit under her. She was taken so low in the draft that I was
It
just like
painful. I'm like,
What the
why is
fuck?
everyone drafting
Doesn't make any
Rachel?
sense.
but
What's wrong with you?
But I mean, I don't know Vinny or Owen at all. I have no idea what their levels are. But Ben, we know Ben's level. We've seen his level so far. He can be a good matchup with Rachel, and Rachel's gonna be good at the game. That's the thing too, is that she has the most experience out of all of them. So I think that I'm definitely picking Rachel.
Yes.
She's my girl. She's my live event wife. How could I pick against my live event wife?
I love Rachel so much. She's my ladies' night girl.
I don't got a title for her. She's just an amazing person.
She's so great. She's awesome.
Okay, she gives the greatest hugs. I'll call her the hug giver because she gives amazing hugs.
Very true, Jeremiah. Very, very true.
I mean, I was like commenting to the people I was sitting with, like, okay, I'm interested when people, and like I kept saying, look, like, has no one drafted Rachel yet?
Yeah.
Like, I was in shock.
Yeah.
Like,
Her
Rachel was
being a fifth
steal
round
that
pick
round.
is a bigger disgrace than Roka being a fourth round pick. Boom! He's not coming on chill. I ruined everything. Ah.
Anyway,
The statements of Adelaide are not the statements of the rest of Call to Action. I like to put that like disclaimer somewhere.
that's what we're saying. That's what we're going to say about that.
We need a disclaimer ticker. Like, the statements of Adelaide are not the statements of the rest of the Call to Action.
Give it 2 minutes. Paul's gonna write a banner for it.
We need a ticker. I feel like it needs to be a permanent ticker that just goes, so it's always reminded people. Like,
Don't worry, you'll come on chill. You'll be like, "Where the fucking gaming chess room question? I want to answer that."
I might bring it back for that one.
You might have
Jesus
to bring it back for
Christ.
that one at least.
No, I'm scared. I'm scared of that answer, mostly because I'm scared he'll be nice, and that doesn't make sense to me.
But Roka is nice.
Yeah, she's very nice. Actually, she's been very, 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 very good to us recently.
Yep, Roka's a good guy.
Yeah, I saw your little group chat. Whatever it's called.
Yeah, well,
What's it called?
Jake and it was the Outlaw support. It was our technical support. Jake, John Mariano, and a few of us were just helping him with some graphics. And we moderated his chat. I think that's where Jake is right now, moderating his chat.
I was trying to be nice this year. What changed? Why am I still an asshole?
That's a good
In
question.
your DNA.
Big time.
I've got
can't
royalty assholeness in my DNA. Whose song is that? I don't know. It's a great song, though. Yeah, that's all the matches we have. Do you want to? I'm not sure if it's still under speculate. Maybe it's under news. If you guys want to talk about live events.
Yeah, I think it's time to move on to the news. And we've got a few things to talk about here. So, Showdown news. Dun 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 dun. There you go. And let me pull that off the screen. All right. So, we have a few things to talk about. First of which is there was was it a Twitter post by Christian where he started bringing up all the loosely planned live events that are happening this year in all the locations?
Maybe I should have checked Twitter. That's why did I not think of that?
I don't remember where it was. I just remember that I was really excited to see it because there's a lot of cities that I want to go to and a lot of places driving distance from where I live, so I can go.
Yeah, it is. Oh my God, thank you.
You're welcome.
Why did I forget that?
But not Nashville yet.
No Nashville
That's
yet.
not Nashville.
Come on. I guess it's 2021.
There is a TBA or TBD though, so it might be.
There was a
You never
TBD.
know.
Oh yeah, watch. If they're planning Nashville, they're not going to tell us till like the last minute. They're going to say to be determined forever, and then be like, "Oh, by the way, Nashville's happening." Call to action, people, calm down.
This is interesting.
Hmm.
Paul. I mean, Paul.
Yes.
You know the.
Yes. I know you're talking.
That's strange.
Well, it might be you just can't say anything yet. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not going to repeat it, but you know what I'm looking at. Oh, thank you. Yeah, so, February is Atlanta. March is
Me too. I want to know that.
the free for all. Boston. He confirmed that it was the second or third week of May. And yeah, he has here. April is Tampa. May is Boston. June is Chicago. July is San Diego. August Anaheim. September Detroit. October New York. And then the last 2 months are not confirmed. But also, I got 2 live events in a row. Finally. But
So New York in October, it seems like, and that's good
Yep.
for New York is a good. New York is a great place to have it, Matt. They've had two, usually 2 a year.
And I will never miss a New York event ever again.
I-
So I will be there.
I've been hoping so bad for New York event that takes place like on Comic Con weekend because I'm always there at Comic Con weekend. But this year, I have a wedding to go to, so I'm probably gonna miss it.
Oh my
Daddy,
God.
no.
You
I
are
remember that
you have
too.
the shittiest luck when it comes to live events in your schedule. That's all
Yeah,
I
I
gotta
know.
say.
I've only been to one live event in New York, and no one was there. Except you were there, Paul, but we didn't get to meet each other.
That's right. It was the very first one, right?
Yeah.
The Brooklyn one in January. Yep. That's right.
You were at the awards too.
I was, yeah.
That's not live. Well, I guess it was a live event, but
It was a
match,
lot.
not
I would have been at the Arizona one, but
Yeah.
fuck happened here?
At least we got
see
to
what
hang
Christian
out. I
said about
finally got
that?
to meet you there.
Yeah, I know that was awesome.
Did you see what Christian said about that? Like somebody mentioned like trying to reschedule Arizona again, and he said, "Nah, it doesn't seem like they actually cared about us anyway," or something like that. So they must have sold.
It was
God,
really
to
shitty.
me. It was like there was a lack of interest in both the fans
Yeah.
and him and the crew, and I'm just like,
I was very.
I mean, no. But also the crew there didn't seem great. No offense, Nat. It's other people I was concerned about. I'm like, whatever. Maybe I shouldn't just come to live events. But it is important. I mean, Tampa's pretty nice. More Florida
Tampa-
rap because Florida was a banger.
Yeah, Tampa's the only one I don't plan on going to. Like all the rest of them, if I can swing it, I'm going to be there. But Tampa, I can't imagine what hotels are going to be like wrestling weekend or WrestleMania. I'm anticipating expensive. Plus, it's so close to free for all. I can't swing Tampa,
Yeah.
so I will miss Tampa. But
I'm surprised they're putting the free for all so close to Atlanta as well. Like it's like 2 weeks apart, I think, or something like that.
3, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I
the
don't know
21st.
why that seems really quick, but
Well, if you're doing it once a month, it's going to be like that anyway. 3 or 4 weeks is all you're going to
Yeah.
get. I mean,
Yeah.
it'll feel long after the 29th. I'll be like, come on, TikTok, baby,
Yeah.
come on.
Oh yeah. But believe me, like this last month for getting ready for Atlanta has been going really slow, and then like 3 days before it's gonna go really fast when I need to pack.
Just come on. I need to see Chandra Jenkins. Come on.
I'll let them answer.
I need to see.
Who drinks the most? Depends what the drink is.
We have video on somewhere of a certain person who drank a whole entire bottle of Jameson.
But
But
there's
for
also you guys went through.
Oftenness, I almost always have a
Suitcase.
White Claw when you see me on camera. So
But then you also have to bring into the question: who drinks the most or who buys the most alcohol? Because that's a very different story.
that is also true.
White Claw.
Mm.
I gotta get us off the White Claw kick. It can't be a White Claw podcast. Everybody thinks
We
that
are a
we're
White Claw podcast.
We're gonna be a
Fuck
Jameson
you, Paul.
podcast. We're gonna be a Jameson
Fuck
podcast.
you, Paul.
I'll accept Jack Daniels podcast. Some kind of whiskey podcast. Yeah, that's about right. Wait,
I like whiskey too, but White Claw is it's just so tasty in this little can and it's low carb because I'm on keto and it's just perfect.
but it's not even alcohol for Christ's sake, really. I mean, it's like
I am a lightweight. 2 of these and I am like what you were like with the Jameson. I mean, it's just like
Drunk calling Andrew Guy. What
I
the
am drunk
fuck?
calling Andrew Guy after 2 White Claws. Be prepared,
Jake,
Andrew.
I think the issue is like he retained his alcohol better. Even when he's drunk, he's not like very drunk. It's still pretty much normal Jake. At least from my experience.
and Jake does other stuff too. I think we shouldn't mention. So I think it's actually it's more than that at this point. But
Well, here. So,
that's true. I will admit that.
and I think the point of us bringing up the locations was to speculate on the matches. Because originally I had speculated, and I didn't voice this on the air because I didn't want to like spoil anything. I thought Chicago was going to be Collision.
Oh.
Christian on the Q&A today said no. It's just a live event and Collision, separate events, whatever.
Well, it makes sense to me, honestly, because Collision, I think the live events, when you have Collision, it's going to be many more people involved.
A lot
But
more
with the
people apply.
sponsorship, it was more possible.
Right, but you're not going to
That's-
start with that. I think you're going to start. They're going to they'll tease the waters or something like that first.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
if you're going to have anything, if anything is going to move, it'd be spectacular. That'd be the thing that would move first because that's the big event that will draw the most. Because no matter
Yeah.
what's going to happen, you can
And
talk
it's at the
about
end of the
matches
year.
all you want. Spectacular at the end of the year is going to have the best matches, the best card, the best draw.
It's true. And
Here's
after that much time, you can build up proof that this is a good thing. This is an event. So like you get what's the word I'm looking for? Like the cred with Skybound. So like, okay, you've seen how this is going this year. Now this is our big event. What do you think?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So here's my wild thing. I believe that June will be a fan league centric event. I believe that's where Robert Parker gets his number one contenders match for the IG title against Smets. Sorry, Mara. And I think it's where Chance Ellison gets a singles match, because Chicago is notorious among the fan league community for being like a big area where everyone comes together. Robert's pretty close near there. I think that's where we get like the concept of like the fan league validation. I think that's Christian's mindset for that is let's give them the biggest stage possible and make it their event. Which would then feed into Robert Parker going for the IG title in July in San Diego Comic-Con weekend against Smets.
I don't know if Christian thinks too much into that kind of thing as far as that goes. I'm not saying he doesn't, but I think he might be thinking.
Tell me there wouldn't be a killer lineup though. Is Parker plays in his home turf to his people and then comes to San Diego and plays at the same stage that Smets won last year and plays the same weekend Smets won last year and takes it from him. Wouldn't that be a killer storyline though?
Now, Chicago did get the most people, but I do not to knock anything about Chicago at this point. I'd like to see a Chicago event that wasn't tied to Celebration, because Chicago had this event with Celebration, had a Star Wars match, and from some things I've heard, a lot of people went there for the Star Wars trivia from Celebration, and some left. I've heard before the main event. I don't know how true that is. This is some things I've heard. So I would love to see Chicago without a tie into Celebration, see how that works now. Or is that going to be a thing that's just is it Chicago is the best Schmoedown state or city rather, or was it tied partially to Celebration? That's got to be answered.
That's true.
I agree.
I plan to be there and find out.
Yeah. In August, it's going to be a Star Wars match because it's in Anaheim for Celebration.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think that.
I have a question if you guys know, are the dates for Celebration, yes, but are for the dates for San Diego Comic-Con release, like the actual convention? Because if so, book your guys' hotels now. Because they're going to get pricey. I know Anaheim is announced, of course, because they already sold out pretty much.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, no, I can do Chicago.
Because I can drive there, so I am 100% planning on being to San Diego and Anaheim.
That'd be so fun. So my knowledge is a lot of people from MTFO are going to come to Anaheim because they want to do a big group meetup there. That'd make me so excited. I would love to be a part of like that entire interaction. So Anaheim is going to be like my fucking event this year. Free for all is going to be great. I'm gonna have a friend over. We're gonna fucking do crazy shit. It'd be a great time. Anaheim is going to be the most lit fucking event I've ever been at. Excellently spectacular because that's great.
Yeah.
Saul.
I will say that Saul has confidence. Saul has a lot of confidence. I can't wait to see him putting his money where his mouth is, because he definitely has the cockiness. And
Saul, you can have your incorrect opinions. If you do your research, Robert Parker has legitimately never lost an Inner Geekdom match. Across the entire family, he's never lost. And that is what the scary part is. He's that knowledgeable. Granted, he's had close calls. There was one match, if you do your digging, that he should have lost because of some bullshit question writing. But he has technically never lost a match. And that is why it's fucking scary.
You never know that. But he's right, though. You never know. You can never count anything before it's happened. Never count your, whatever that saying is. I can't remember right now. Because count your chickens before their eggs are hatched or something like that. Either way. Whatever it is.
Ooh, am I allowed to fight Saul? Am I allowed to fight Saul? I see something in the chat that I want to dig into.
Fight Saul. Okay, go ahead. Fight Saul.
Hey, Saul. Do your research. Saul, you're nice. You're great. I give you respect. And I'm a relatively nice guy. Here's the one thing that you're forgetting, though. If you watch the Fan League matches, they're harder than the Schmoedown. Having played there and having written for there, the fan leagues are incredibly difficult. I think trying your questions there, and like I warm up to my family matches with spread out questions. If you want to become the best competitor, you have to look at family questions because they're always deeper and they're always harder, and they're always more complex. There can be more shenanigans. I would know. I've had to deal with a lot of people cheating and shit in the fan leagues, but they're the real deal. You don't discount someone from being there. You have to take into account how hard you have to work to be a champion there.
Okay.
And almost no one works harder than Robert Parker. Fact.
But let's face it, Adelaide, you have a hard on for the fan leagues. Let's put it that way, more so than a lot of other
Maybe
people.
you have
do.
your own TV show about it.
A little bit.
Yeah, you are a bias. You are a fan league whore, fan league, everything. I mean, that's all about you, and that's fine. That's what you like, and that's what you get off on. And that's great. There is a difference between the fan leagues and the Schmoedowns, and yes, the fan leagues are harder questions. I've heard all this, but at the same time, it's also different doing it before the lights, doing it in the crowd, doing it in the big leagues. I mean, there's a lot to be said on either way. So nothing, as much as Robert Parker has done the fan leagues, and I greatly respect that. I think Robert Parker is going to be amazing. I think he's got the knowledge. I think he will do well. We can't say definitively that it's going to happen.
Well, like even you see on the Facebook pages, people like I know people were doing the poll of like Ace versus Parker. You're not wrong, so. And they're like, "Oh yeah, this Parker dude's not going to win just because he's played online doesn't mean the same thing under the lights." You're not wrong, but knowledge base is still important.
It is.
And yes, maybe under the lights is different.
I get, but your argument though. I mean, Saul was just saying that a lot can happen between now and then. He's absolutely right.
Yep,
You can't give him the victory yet until it happens.
Yeah.
It's true. We
And
haven't seen it before.
I won't like in the like let's compare this to Uncut Gems. I wouldn't put my money on Parker to beat Smets until I see him play. If you tell me I have to make a bet right now, I bet on Smets because I've seen him play under the lights.
Smets is a monster right now, and he's been there. He's done it. So
Yep.
Yeah,
my money's on Smets right now too. I'd like to see it. I think it's gonna be a great match, but
yeah. And Parker will be the next person to go for the title shot. I think there's no question. Winning the title, yes, it could be a different question, but there's still the base knowledge, and there's still the time to study, and there's still the idea of wanting to win.
I will say,
Saul, do you breathe fire?
have you met Saul? He definitely breathes fire. That's for sure.
Just please don't spit on me. That's not my thing.
Love it.
I
Love
hope we see Saul versus Robert Parker. That might be an interesting match.
If I wouldn't say that's a debut match because I don't want Saul to get fucked like that in his debut. If y'all are both 1-0 for that, I am down. If Saul wins someone on this first match, if he goes against Parker for 1-1, that's fine by me. I think that's a great match.
And
I have a lot of faith in Parker, but with how stacked the Intergeekdom division is today, it's anyone guess who's going to be Intergeekdom champion by the end of the year. But just want a quick plug our AAA Live episode with Chanju where we do a deep dive on Robert Parker and look at his strengths and weaknesses. Spoiler, he doesn't have a lot of weaknesses. So
we'll find out.
Who will actually here? Let's speculate. Who will Saul play in his debut? I bet you it's Ben Goddard, because Ben has voiced interest in going to IG.
Oh, has he? I won't be.
He has. You pick Middle Earth. Saul versus Ben Goddard for an IG debut match would be fucking awesome.
I don't know. There's so many new Intergeekdom players that we don't know yet, too. So I don't know.
You're not wrong.
It's hard to pick yet, but I don't know. I guess we'll find out. We'll find out more soon. I'm not going to predict. We'll wait and see how they go.
Yeah. Did you guys predict any other matches for the live event places and stuff?
I'm assuming a Star Wars match of some kind for Anaheim because
yeah, that's where every Star Wars match will be there.
So who would it be like a big one for a belt, or would it be more just like a number one contender? What do you think?
No, that'll be the belt. That'll be the belt.
Belt.
That'll be Damon versus, or if it's Damon still, but it should be Damon still by then. I don't know if we'll have a Star Wars championship
So
match before
Damon
then.
versus Dimolanta, got it.
Could absolutely
Damon
be.
versus Sullivan.
I'd actually like to see Sullivan guy again. It's hard to predict without knowing. Have you actually worked with him, Adelaide? Have you
I haven't worked with him.
talked to him
I
enough?
just know his promise.
Okay.
Also, I'm just gonna give me 1 second. You little bitch. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? There you go. I was still going, you little fuck.
Yep, I know.
It needs to be on. You've said multiple controversial things.
I know.
I'm a controversial person. If you want to, okay. Side note, and we'll go back into plugging this later.
Mhm.
On feature presentation productions, we did a Oscar Best Picture winners draft,
Mm-hmm.
and I picked Chicago for my 4th round pick.
I love Chicago.
Thank you. And this one fucking dude, Kirk Kolakowski, and I hope you see this, Kirk, because I'll say it to your face as well. He says Chicago is one of the biggest piece of shit films ever put to screen, and everyone on the panel agreed, and I was so mad.
Chicago is probably my favorite movie musical. Like,
It's my second favorite,
I love it so much.
and I'm like defending it to my last breath.
That's a bad opinion. I don't.
No, for reference, my first 3 picks were Godfather Part 2, Amadeus, and Sound of Music. I was killing it. I was in the lead. And then I picked Chicago, and they're like, fuck you. And then I picked Shakespeare in Love, and they're like, fuck you. And I've gotten 0 points in the poll afterwards.
All right, what are we talking about here? Let's get this fucking back on track.
We're talking about how the beauty and magnificence
Fucking
of Chicago.
musicals and stuff. Let's just get the fuck going with this.
No, fuck you, Paul. Give me a second.
All right, are we
Let me
ready
tell
to
you
move
about
on to the next?
Anyway, we're gonna move on to to a more important.
I can talk about
discussion.
Chicago
Look
for
at
as
this.
long as this episode
Look at
is.
this gloriousness. This woman just
Roxy
won her
Hart is
second
my
Oscar.
dream role. If
She
I could
won her
ever be an
second Oscar
actress,
tonight.
Okay.
if I could ever be an actress and be in a musical, Roxy Hart's my dream role. So I love Chicago. All right. Well, our next bit of news was there were some changes to names and logos.
There were.
Yep. One of them I'm a little bit disappointed in because I liked the original logo better, but I totally understand why they had to change it.
Which one?
The Finstock Exchange. I like it. It was just the other one. I just love the other one so much. I still want it on a shirt. I'm still gonna buy the shirt when it comes out, which was the name of this episode. Where are the shirts? I want to buy them. I will buy every single one of them, Christian. Where are they?
Soon. That's what I keep saying. Soon.
I want to wear a Finstock Exchange shirt to Atlanta.
Kelsey needs more shirts. Jake keeps throwing them in the trash.
I have like 16 Schmodown shirts, and so
I probably have
I
16
need
shirts.
I have like 175 shirts. It's
Man,
Dang, no.
you're definitely committed to it. That's for sure. Definitely committed.
Finstock Exchange. I want that shirt for Atlanta.
See, Danny,
All right. What else we got?
when you make a show when you make a podcast about the Schmodown, you need to have it about people who will survive, who will go on for a long time. In Stock Exchange, I mean,
What?
Roka's mad with Dagnino. He doesn't like he's a 4th round pick. If he continues to lose, he could just trade him away for Whitney or Inalando or something.
Well,
And
didn't you know?
I know you like Roka. Just call yourself the Outlaw Nation podcast. You're like 2.0. Whatever you do, just don't steal Leah's brand 'cause she's amazing, and Dan. But you could be a Roka podcast, just not in Stock Exchange, because you might be disappointed
Ben.
later. Oh no, I know. I'm saying that because he's a big fan of Roka. He's
Yeah,
a
but
massive fan of Roka.
He's also a fan of Ben.
He was begging that Drew was traded to the Finstock Exchange because, like, I need all my favorite players together.
Mhm.
I'm just digging myself a hole, but I need to stop fucking talking. What the shit?
All right. Well, anyways,
I'll
another
do it for you, Paul.
logo
That's what
that
we,
changed. Yep. Good job. Another logo that changed was the usual suspects. It's now blue and sparkly, and I need that on a shirt.
I kind of like that one actually. I definitely.
I like it. I feel like a few of the shirts were all kind of similar. They're all, or designs, I mean, they're all red and like sort of like corruption and usual suspects, and then the mouthy mercs. They were very similar. So I like that they're more diverse looking now. They're easier to tell apart.
But now we've lost the action colors.
That's true.
It's
I didn't go
true.
that way. But that's all right. I actually think it's nice. It's nice for. I think
Yeah.
it's nice and colorful. I like that one. Well, it does look a little toothpastey to me, color wise.
It is a little toothpastey color.
What's wrong with toothpaste?
I
Do you not
like
brush
the
your
color
teeth,
of
Paul?
toothpaste.
You ever see like Crest and shit like that?
Yeah, like
I don't look at your crest. No.
like minty freshness color.
Yeah,
I see what you're saying, Paul.
That's right. That's what you're smart.
Toothpaste is very
I brush
good.
my teeth
Yeah.
also, Paul. I know what you're
Can,
talking
can,
about.
can we get Bibiani versus, or can we get the Shazam versus the family again? And it's like, I bet you guys are minty fresh and you're going down.
All right. Well, there are no other new ones. Were there new ones, or it all just because
There's
Rockstar?
one more
What was
that
the new
was
one?
very new
Which
because
one
the
was
name
that?
changed as well.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
The Quirky Mercs. What do you guys
Obviously-
think of that?
Obviously, the mouthy mercs obviously hit a trademark infringement. I'm
Copyright
assuming.
kind of, yeah. Which it makes sense. I can see why they had to change it. But what do you guys think about
I
the
think the
quirkiness?
logo looks cool. I don't think that looks like Koi at all.
It doesn't
I-
look like Clay at all. I'm
I-
true. Yes, thank you, Robert. See, Robert gets it. Robert gets it. You got clean teeth, Chris. It's good. It's good. We like your teeth.
Yeah.
But that's a good question about the Finstock change, though. Or the Quirky Mercs one. What is with the banana?
I know. What is with the banana?
Bananas are quirky.
So,
Is he gonna start
Paul, you
showing up to
can-
matches with banana? Is that gonna be a thing?
Paul, you can keep this going. I hate that logo.
Aww.
Okay, I didn't like either of the names. I think it's too wordy. But also, I don't think, unless I'm mistaken, none of the other factions make it about them, other than Finstock, which is Finstock. It makes sense.
Monsters.
I don't like Koi being the front man for the faction, even though it's Arnold Schwarzenegger as Cobra as Koi. It's I don't know. It's not my thing. I don't think it needs to be that forced quirky. I think that Koi, I'm down with the Deadpool reference. If you'd have called yourself the Chimichangas or something, that's fine. I just think that X Mercs, it just it gets caught up in the mouth, and as someone with a stutter, a lot of things get caught in my mouth. It's hard to say repeatedly.
Honestly, I love Koi. He's probably my favorite manager, but I think they would be better off just being called the Mercs. It's simple, it's short, it's perfect. I don't think you need the quirky part.
So now Chimichangas are delicious. I would love a faction named the Chimichangas.
Chimichangas, that'd be funny too. I like that though. I can see both sides. I do get they could go with just the Mercs, but the Quirky Mercs gotta make me laugh.
Wait. I would love a promo. Imagine Corruption versus Shazam, and Shannon's on the mic, and she just takes it. It's time to eat these Chimichangas. And she just throws it into the audience and just boom on. It's come on, Chimichangas is a great faction name. Come on.
I can't eat them, so
Nat, come on, it's a great faction name.
Anyway.
Daddy, are you agreeing with that?
Come on, Daddy, help me out, please.
He knows better.
Let's move on.
He knows what's good.
Let's move on. That's the best thing. Yep, now he knows better.
Very tactful.
All right. Chris is behind you.
Chris is behind you, Adelaide.
Yeah.
You've won somebody over.
That's the first
Hell
time for
froze
everything.
over.
The one who likes Green Book slightly less. Yes, come on.
All right. What's next there, Kels?
That was all with the new ones. We do have on here all the amazing designs that I am waiting for shirts. I will buy them. I will buy them for my children.
I love it. Side note, isn't the Den just the greatest?
I love the Den. I do love the Den.
If
love
I
the
could pick 10 people that I would just get dinner with, it would be everybody in the Den.
Sit with the Den, yeah.
I could talk MCU with Brandon Hanna. I could talk Broadway with Rachel Silvestrini. I could talk murder with Tom. It'd be a great time.
As we do. We talk murder all the time.
Yeah, that's something we all do, I guess.
Come on, Chris. It's my thing. Like how I tell Paul Bohemian Rhapsody is really shit when it's only partly shit.
It's like I tell Adelaide that he's fully shit when he's really just fully shit. That's my thing.
I'll have you know, I just ate a bunch of dairy, so you're absolutely right.
Oh boy, here we go. Here we go.
Oh, actually,
Anyway.
Is there anything else you want us to cover?
That's all I had for news. Do you guys think of anything else before we move on to our next segment, which is going to be news about our channel? anything else?
Oh,
Before we move on?
was there some other news that came up tonight that you wanted to talk about?
Not that I remember.
News that involves two of us on the panel sort of screaming a little loudly. Something along the lines of this.
The Oscars?
Yeah.
Well, the Oscars we're going to tie into the questions. I figured because
Yeah, we'll put it there.
Oh
We'll
yeah.
talk
Okay. Oh, I'll save the man screaming for later
Yes,
then.
we will talk about the Oscars a little bit. But
Wait,
I guess
what if Scott Mans is the 10th manager and he calls it the Manson family? Wait. I got you.
Thank you for helping with that.
Self-aware.
Okay, yeah. At
Let's
least
move on.
Adelaide knows what's up.
Let's
All
move
right. Well,
on.
anyways, our next segment is Call to the Network. We are going to talk about the amazing things we have coming up this week on this channel.
That's
And
true.
by the way, there's always amazing things coming up on this channel. So, starting with stuff happening tomorrow, Paul, what's happening with Chill?
Tomorrow is Chill to Action, and actually, I will announce here we have the next 4 weeks scheduled, which is farther out than we usually go.
That's amazing.
Tomorrow on Chill to Action, we have the lovely, the talented, the best accent in the game right now. Kate Mulligan will be on Chill to Action. So excited for that. I can't wait to talk to her. She is a gem of a human. Can't wait to get to know a little more about her. She's awesome. Beyond that, I will just also kind of tease the next couple of weeks. We have the week after that. We have a special guy by the name of Mark Ellis. He's going to catch slumming it after his appearances on Comedy Central. He's going to come and hang out with us. Mark Ellis, maybe Carrots himself. The week after that, yes, Kate. Week after that, we will have the Kate's SEN Live crewmate, Winston Marshall, will be on. Drip.
Drip.
And let's see. Yes, Saul, you're not on yet. 4 weeks
Oh,
from
come on,
now.
Soon
just
enough,
debate the
Paul.
fan leagues.
Soon enough.
4 weeks from now, we're finally going to have the one that we've been talking about for a long time. Chilled Action will welcome on John Roca.
Yes, we did it.
We've mended the bridges. We've talked of action. He's really excited to come on.
We've mended 10 bridges.
Oh, yes. Yeah, not
Yeah,
yet.
we've been to
At
At least to my
Yeah.
knowledge, I can't talk to him. I don't know what's going on with that.
Yeah, you're definitely not going to be our threat on that one. That's for sure.
I'll be the 5th. Oh, shit.
You'll be the 15th. Yes, we only have 11 hosts. You'll be the 15th. So, yes, the Outlaw Nation.
Chris and Robert will be in the green room just like watching it on. Just be like, come on, it's my time. Come on.
As far as I'm concerned,
We'll
you're
see.
fired that week. So,
There'll be people in the chat waiting to boot you the second you show up. Be like, no, bad Adelaide.
He'll highlight one comment and just Roka's like, all right, here we go. He turns the cowboy hat backwards.
We want to keep Roka liking us, so no, we're not going to.
we might offer up his tribute. That could be. Just bring him into the thing. That I'll
If
tie
you
back
ask,
and-
I guarantee you that'll be the one time this season you ask the fucking gaping chest wound question, and I will be in the chat for that. Just texting my fucking heart out, like, come on, you know you want to do it. Do it. Come on, hit me. I don't want to hit me. Come on, hit me.
And you'll be back. Surprise, Roka, mend the bridge. I don't know if he's ready for that.
Yeah.
What if we watch 21 Bridges together, starring Chadwick Boseman and Stefan James, and we just see what happens?
Anyway, that's chill for the next couple of
That's
weeks.
chill.
Chilled action. We do have a.
This is the great. This is.
Guys. Enough. Enough for now. We'll see what happens in this 4 weeks. Anyway.
Balance up with some Flash Gordon stuff.
Move on. We did do that.
All
today.
right. All right. Moving through the week, Tuesday, we're filming it. I'm not sure if we're promoting it. I mean, playing it yet. We have an exhibition match of rom-coms being hosted by our wonderful Mac Daddy, and you are definitely going to want to watch that. It's going to be amazing. We have an amazing co-host for that one. I don't know if it's announced yet or not, but it's going to be great. So definitely keep an eye out for that. And then Wednesday, we have Schmo Bates. I don't know who the guests are on that one.
I believe
She's mentioned, but we have Schmo Bates, and it's going to be great. I won't be there because it's my birthday, so I will be absent. But I am
happy birthday.
Holy shit, it's your birthday?
Wednesday's my 30th birthday, so
It's all right, Kelsey. I just turned 20. You'll be great.
thanks for that.
You're welcome.
I always know what to say.
You always know the right words to say, Adelaide.
All right, see,
And let me talk about politics now.
I got to take this down and then bring it back up again just so you make sure you extra highlight it.
Anyways,
Chris,
Schmo
thank you,
Bates
Chris.
is, I feel like, one of our most you cannot miss shows. So please come, please watch, please participate. We need people to vote, and it's a lot of fun. And definitely don't want to miss that. And then Thursday, we're hoping to do ladies' night. We're hoping to do ladies' night sometime this week because we didn't get to last week, and I need to hang out with my girls. So we will post on the social media when we have a date set and time set and everything. So keep an eye out because I miss ladies' night.
My special guest could be the same, you think? Are we doing that still?
If that person is available, then absolutely.
Okay. Not Thursday's definitely not going to happen. I'll tell you that.
Okay. Okay.
Friday or
Well, we'll figure
Saturday,
it out.
though. Friday Saturday might be able to work out.
Okay. Well, it's in the works. We will figure it out because I want to have another ladies' night and I want to hang out with our special guests. Any shows I am missing? Are we having a AAA this week? Are we having a fan league show?
Yeah,
What's
the thing about that is we usually have AAA live on every other Thursday. It would be this Thursday. I'm not sure if we're going to have one this week because I think Dylan is busy with something, but we will keep you posted. If we post a controversial poll on Twitter, then we're probably going live.
Okay,
I'm
so if
not
you see a
touching those
poll,
polls ever again, let me tell
if
you.
you see a poll in the call to action name that offends you, you should know AAA is going to be on that week.
It's all done. I'm throwing him under the bus because he's not here. If you're watching with Dylan, then it's not just your fault.
And on Call to the Fan Leagues on Friday, the guests are not officially, like, they're not locked in yet. I'm still working on that, but I'm 100% in my last of the interview segments for like entire leagues. I'll be interviewing the Movie Trivia Face-Off admins, feature people like, but not confirmed yet, David the Spaniard Garcia, friend of the show, John Mariano, Jeff Saunders, aka Hillbilly Scribs, Jimmy Deary, one of my rivals, one of my many rivals, and there's a handful of other admins who I'm forgetting who come in and out. Like Corey Morissette is our new editor and geek commissioner. As many as I can get, I would love to have on because they're all wonderful people, and they're some of the people who gave me my start in the fan leagues. So we're gonna talk about why I'm the greatest personality that greatest in fan leagues and other stuff like that. But it'll be fun on Friday. Time pending, people pending, everything pending, except for the fact that I will be on and I will make really dumb opinions. Oh, never mind.
You're
That's
the
wrong.
greatest. You're the greatest. Did you say something about you're the greatest?
I'm the greatest personality in the fan leagues.
Well, that's definitely not a advertisement for the families.
Wait, Kelsey, can I do it? Can I do it?
Do what?
Can I do that? Am I allowed to do that?
No, you're not allowed to do that.
Oh, okay, I'll put it back then.
Oh, now I'm on top of Paul.
Wow. Phrasing.
I always knew Paul was a
As
bottom.
they should be.
I'm okay with that. I'm not gonna lie.
All right. Are we ready to move on to our next segment, which is
Move
our
on.
final segment? All right. Questions from the chat. It's time for you to ask questions. It could be anything Schmodown related. It could be not Schmodown related if you just have things you want to talk about. While we wait for your questions to come in, are probably going to discuss the Oscars a little bit because
Let's
that's
talk
what
about
we're
the
excited about.
greatest movie.
So if you
of all
have not
time.
seen the Oscars and
Just
don't want
one.
anything spoiled for
Best
you,
Picture.
we may part ways right now because we are talking Oscars.
So I have to end to get as many fan pages as Roxy Stryer. Let's get this going. Parasite.
If you have any
fits in.
questions,
Wait,
any
it
questions for
fits in.
anybody on here except for
Parasite.
Adelaide, it's fine.
Parasite.
Everybody else.
In the seconds we went live, the second before we went live, I had to get that because I'm so fucking happy that Parasite won Best Picture.
First
So
question.
deserved. I was pleasantly surprised.
First question from the chat. I don't know. We'll find out later on, I guess. But I think
Kim
she'll be okay
loves
with it.
me.
She loves
Kim's-
Kelsey, so
In about 8 hours, you'll find out, and Paul will be waking up. And be like, he'll be reading like a hostage manuscript. He's
I
many
think-
mistakes.
I honestly, I have a good wife. I think she might be good. It'd be good that way, so it's okay.
Like a good wife, like
I'm a
Glenn
good wife.
Close.
Kim is the best
who didn't win an
wife
Oscar,
ever.
but Parasite
She's
won
old.
3 Oscars, 4 Oscars.
Here we go. What is our new favorite part of the season so far that's not trivia related?
Kate's accent. Next question.
That's actually bad. That's not a bad one, right?
It's up there. I'm excited with Drew's new name Debonair. I think with that announcement, I feel like was my biggest yes so far. So I'm excited to see where he goes with that. So that was probably like my moment so far this season.
I would also say both of those, but I also throw in I like the fact that we have the matches are going to be so much more competitive now because of the challenges of the managers. So I think we're going to have a lot more tense games because people are going to start throwing shit out there. People are going to get heated, and that's going to make for good TV or YouTube or whatever.
I really like that there are managers now because it makes it feel so much more like a sport. Like there's going to be strategy involved for everyone. Like no one's getting away from it.
Absolutely. Let's see. Jerry Miller also wants to know if do we see more foreign films winning Best Picture after Parasites win?
I'm hoping it's sent to president. I really hope it does because I want to see more foreign films. I want to be more accessible.
I think the
And-
foreign film won last year too.
Like
Roma was up there.
yeah.
Roma could've
I'm
won.
hoping this is a change in tides. I'm hoping this means we will see it happen more often because
I
it's an
am really
amazing film.
hoping that people get over the fact that they have to read subtitles and just know that there's a world full of good cinema out there that's not American.
Yep.
Over the 1 inch tall barrier.
Yeah.
Our audience is reading
Love
subtitles during this entire thing, so it's fine.
Exactly.
Speaking of reading, I saw a great question in the chat that I want to pull up.
We're getting there. Here we go.
Oh, no, where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Danny. Most beautiful person on C2A? Jarvie. Next question.
It is Jarvie.
That might be right. That could be right.
Could be. Jarvie is a model.
Jarvie.
I would.
Jarvie.
Oh, what's the name? What's the name of this fucking country? Oh, shit.
Estonia?
Estonia.
Yeah, I would swim to Estonia for that man.
I'm sure he might be up now. He might be a jump on it at some point.
Yeah. Let's
Come on,
get
Jarvie.
Jarvie on here.
Mark Shadow, come on.
Could the mystery
Jarvie.
trade be Tom to the dungeon for Looney Bin reunion and Paul teams with Rachel Silvestrini?
No.
That would be a big mistake by Kate.
Well, even so,
That would
what
qualify.
are you doing with that trade? You're trading someone who could go for a singles title for Rachel, and I love Rachel. But that's not going to happen. Wait, no,
He's
that
not
doesn't make sense.
No. It's he's just saying he doesn't give the other person trading Tom to the dungeon for the reunion and Paul teams with Rachel Silvestrini on the teams. We don't know what Kate would be getting back.
Oh no, I understand. So no, Tom would go to the dungeon for the Looney Bin reunion, which is assuming Tom and Drew would become a team.
Right. What I'm saying is
That
we don't know.
wouldn't happen. But that'd be assuming Tom for Rachel. And I love Rachel, but she's not Tom. Tom could win a title. Rachel's not quite there yet, as much as I exacerbate that she is. That trade wouldn't happen, especially because
You're not trading Tom for Rachel though.
yeah, you are.
No, because Rachel is on the den.
Mhm.
Exactly. You trade away. Okay, wait. What
I'm saying is you're not. Crimson's question is not giving us. It's just saying Tom going to the dungeon, and then Paul and Rachel left of the den would team up as a partner. We're not.
This is the reason I'm no longer an English maker, guys.
So that's why.
I don't know who Tom would trade for that. Like maybe Parker.
Maybe because he's Nigerian. I mean, he has
But then you have
Hannah
Hannah.
anyway,
And
Hannah
I
anyway.
don't think it happens. I don't think it happens.
I wouldn't. No, I don't think it's going to happen either. But you never know. That could make sense as far as Kate making a mistake, because that probably would be a mistake. Because Tom and Paul are definitely the hot thing right now, and everything else.
Tom and Paul are the greatest rookie team currently.
Chris, not a question, but out admits if JoJo won, but Parasite winning does feel like a solid win.
JoJo.
I did like
Oh,
JoJo.
JoJo.
Also. I
JoJo's
love
great.
JoJo as well.
Jojo Rabbit's amazing.
I would love to
It-
see JoJo win.
In my actual biased, entirely feelings-based ranking, JoJo was number 2. I loved it. Unbiased, it's my number 3. Parasite's number 2. 'Cause Parasite's just perfect.
Very
Oh,
Little
it's-
Women is
Oh,
more perfect. Little Women is one of the greatest films ever. It is amazing. And Robert Adams, if you're still on the chat, I'll fight you on that.
I'm happy Once Upon a Time in Hollywood won a lot of things.
Boo.
I love it too. I love
yeah.
it too.
I
Guy.
love that movie so much.
Guy.
Guy or Trader? Let me know that.
Guy.
Come on, bro.
Come
Hashtag
on.
Team Bateman. Ben.
Can we get Kelsey on? Like,
No,
Daddy
because I
number
am the
2.
host. I am in charge of this.
Well, technically, I could still do it though. I do have the power.
Daddy's the
Well,
host.
now I'm underneath that. So.
Oh wait, I don't want to be underneath James, so let's chase it
I
around.
knew that was the top.
I just didn't want.
Underneath.
Now I'm on top. Now I'm on top of Kelsey. So
We're just swapping
now
places.
I'll have to find out Kim's
Oh,
good
you're
at
top.
that now.
I've been everywhere.
Oh boy! All right, Starger wants to know if anyone's interested in watching the Sonic movie in theaters or wait till streaming.
I am going to see Sonic this Thursday. So
Are you? Sweet.
I will probably see it in theaters. My kids want to see it really bad, so
My son wants to see it too. He said so. I could probably go see it. It's got Jim Carrey in it. It could be fun.
yeah.
Like, just to support the fact of how much they did, and they
Yes.
they underpaid the special effects artist, and it caused them to fucking go out of production. They deserve the money. They should get something.
I definitely want to support them. I have no faith this movie's going to be good.
That's
That's-
about where I am
Hopefully
too.
it'll at least be fun.
I'm hoping for goofy, stupid fun. That's all I'm hoping for at this point.
That's all I'm asking.
All right, here we go.
Hold Matt, you're asking for the Guy Trader question? I'm Team Guy.
Yeah. Damn right. That's why he's my natty daddy.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I'm surrounded by wrong people, guys. I'm sorry.
That's Kelsey's. I mean,
Okay, Damien, have you
beautiful.
seen Jarvie though? Have you seen Jarvie?
Jarvie,
It's true. I
super-
feel like I'm way below Jarvie.
Only one of us has seen Jarvie in person, and even he agrees.
I have seen Jarvie in person. I am a heterosexual male, and he is beautiful.
he looks good.
I wish he was in the chat right now.
Jarvie has the accent.
Yes,
how
plus
could
he
you
has the
say no to
accent,
that?
which just accelerates everything like 1,000%.
Adelaide, a question wanted to be addressed last episode of Chill that never got mentioned. Powerline's Eye to Eye or the Chipmunk Chipettes Girls of Rock and Roll?
Eye to Eye, no question. Eye to Eye is one of the greatest Disney original songs ever.
I'm going to say Girls of Rock and Roll then.
She
Just
wasn't
because you
gonna
said
play
I. Just because you said I.
Just to be contrary.
it. Do you know what they
I
are?
wish- with Adelaide, but I'm going to go Eye.
Okay, I actually don't know. I don't think I know Eye to Eye.
It's from Goofy Movie, right?
Goofy movie.
Yeah.
Goofy movie? That's
Max Lady travels across the country to just get on stage with the dude for the girl he likes. Like, it's a great story.
I have to create a new winner.
Wait, Chris got it. Never mind.
Oh, that's a good solid point.
That's a solid point.
I mean, Jeremiah Morris asked an important question. Warrior, Parasite, Warrior. Warrior's the greatest movie of all time that some of us still haven't seen yet, but we can address that later.
That
I
is
refuse.
painful to answer. I
Yeah.
think I'm saying
Alex.
warrior, but
Danielle,
oh.
know what you did.
Saul says
Hulu right
Ben
now.
has been trading anybody, and he would probably know.
Are you sure, Saul? 'Cause I got a message right here that you're going to the Droogs.
Because you said the Roku stream that Tom doesn't have much motivation to play. That's actually a good point. I mean, he's got the knowledge base, but
what
he's
I
got any
heard.
motivation. Well, I think Drew would know, wouldn't she?
I heard
That's what she told me too.
She told me that too.
Yeah.
she told me that he's like gunning to play. Like now he has the drive.
Well, it's been a while since I talked to her.
I don't know. I talked to her
Maybe
in
he's
New
just-
York, and he seemed that he wasn't. At least that's the. I don't think he said that. She didn't say it outright, but that's the kind of vibe I got from her. All right, Jeremy wants to know: are you surprised by the Birds of Prey box office compared to Joker? I keep seeing R-rated.
I am infuriated because I mean, Joker's my favorite movie of the year, last year. Don't get me wrong; it deserves every dime it made. But Birds of Prey should have done better. It is a wonderful film. It is a great representation of Harley Quinn as a character, as well as everybody else. And every person I see on the internet complaining about Black Canary's not like the comics, whatever. Gail Simone, who writes the character of Black Canary, has said she is a perfect representation of the character. So, okay, I'm done.
But also,
Kelsey's heated. She's kicking and screaming. I get it. It's good. Okay.
one of these movies is good, and the other one is Joker. Just because your little fucking white male fantasy bullshit, whatever you want to call Joker, got more money does not mean it's a better
What?
film.
It doesn't mean it's a bad film though either. Joker's a
Well,
great
no,
film.
okay, but
Joker's-
also, what movie was it? Something else came out recently. I think I saw it compared to A Greatest Showman, where it's like, yeah, I had a weak leg at the beginning, but every week it didn't go down; it went up because of the word of mouth, because everyone had interest in it, and because people kept going back for more. Birds of Prey is going to have the same thing. It's going to have repeat viewing. It's going to have an increase in box office. People will be interested to see it. Like, just because it has a bad weekend does not mean it's a bad film that is going to have poor box office receipts. It's going to make a lot. And look at
I'm going to
comparative.
see it 10 times. It's already planned.
Exactly. And Birds of Prey was pretty cheap too. Like, if you look at it, it wasn't that expensive. I think it cost like 40 to 60.
I think it
granted-
was like 87 or 90, but still,
I-
for
I-
a comic book movie, that's cheap.
Yeah, it can make its money back. I don't think it's gone even international yet. It's not taking that into account. It's going
I
to make
haven't
its
seen
money
it yet.
back.
I haven't
Well,
seen
shut
it.
up.
I've seen it.
Shazam had the same issue. People's dads didn't see it. Thank you. Danny brings it up.
I agree.
Shazam had the same issue. It didn't make a lot of money opening weekend. Then look what it did. It's now one of the most loved DCEU films. It's made its money back, and there's a sequel and a spin-off coming.
The only way I'm saying Sonic the Hedgehog is with the controller in my hand and my Genesis Mini. I can respect that.
Yep.
Uh,
Is that a euphemism?
Goth Kelsey is pretty fierce. All right, I like that. I like that.
Not wrong.
Trying something new. Well, not new. That's how I was in high school.
What song?
Kelsey is going to the MCR concert after this.
I wish.
Wait. We got to plug this. So if you guys don't know, Danny has made a call to action Spotify playlist where you can listen to some of our favorite songs. If I can recommend one thing that's not on the playlist already, Haley Williams' new EP, Petals for Armor. The singles are not great, but Cinnamon, which is one of the unreleased songs on it, slaps. Very good. It plays with like alternate tempos and like twisting stuff. It's really great. Recommend checking it out. Y'all have any?
I haven't put anything on there yet. It's probably gonna be a lot of like early 2000s punk, also 70s punk like Sex Pistols, maybe some Marilyn Manson, probably some Spice Girls. Very eclectic mix. I'll send some stuff.
I too have not added anything yet, but you're looking at my hat. I'm going to throw some Queen on there, obviously. I'll probably also throw some random 90s rock stuff like Third Eye Blind. I'll throw in there in honor of Paul Presson. And I would add at least one Extreme song because I love Extreme from the 80s and 90s. They got pigeonholed as like this glam rock 80s cock rock band, but they were so much more than that. They're this great funk metal band, but that's another
You
story.
mean like a song from an extremely goofy movie, the superior sequel to the original film, featuring Powerline's Eye to
From the
Eye?
band Extreme.
I already added 15 songs to the playlist, so I'm not sure if I should add more. But if you want one, I've been really digging Toes by Glass Animals today. So there you go.
There probably are not, but there should be because Rocky IV was one of the greatest soundtracks of all time as well. So I will throw at least one Rocky IV song. I don't know which one either. There's no Easy Way Out or Hearts
I will
on
say,
Fire.
if you like contort the playlist to be just happy songs, I added a lot of sad shit. Putting Gonna Fly Now always helped me. It worked out when I did because not anymore. But it's great to add your workout things. You want to add it in there. You eat it in.
Speaking of workout music, the soundtrack to Birds of Prey, great workout music. It's now my go-to playlist.
Its soundtrack is so good.
It's so good, and the beats on it is like perfect for like elliptical and stuff. I'm like, yeah, and I just feel like I wanted to be like Birds of Prey, so I'm really motivated. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do this. Yeah, so recommend.
I got okay.
I don't know him. Maybe I'm old. I don't even know him.
I want to call out Danny for something here. Fact check. I called you cute again today. That's twice. Fuck you. Pay me. Anyways.
Wow. I guess Adelaide is a whore. Okay.
I love that quote from Wolf. Like I've been using it more for just casual shit. Like my friends like, oh yeah, I want to get something from the store. Fuck you. Pay me. For what reason? That's fun.
Speaking of music, do you guys have Schmoed Out interest music you want, or just a David B song for us? Like music for us?
I
I
already
gotta-
picked my entrance music.
I have-
I
yeah.
talked about it on a stream once.
I'll give a small spoiler for fan leak stuff because I don't think anyone here is like worried about a spoiler for it. I've picked a new entrance song for MTFO. It's gonna be the instrumental to Teenagers by MCR, and I'm so excited because the instrumental on its own is so fucking great.
Yeah, I like Teenagers.
Amazing.
Yeah, I once said on a stream that my entrance music would be "Maneater" by Nelly Furtado, so I guess I'll just stick with that.
My entrance theme would be "Icon" by James. I'm gonna come out like Adonis Creed.
Yeah, it would be so cool though.
That would be pretty cool. I don't know what I'd do. I really don't know what I'd do. Part of me wants to do with Eminem. Go with Eminem.
Lose yourself.
Yeah.
At the Oscars.
Actually, not. I mean, I don't know why he was there. By the way, I have no idea why he was there.
My mom angry texted me a little bit. She's like, "Why is Eminem on here?" And I'm like, "Because he's amazing."
Although I got a low key Marty Scorsese's reaction to Eminem would be my favorite moment of the whole Oscars.
Not only does he not like comic book movies, he also does not like Eminem.
Well, Eminem did make a song for Venom, so there is a connection.
Not grooving. That's all. He was not grooving to that.
No.
But
I love this tweet I saw. Like, even the rappers are white.
Yeah. Okay. I love that the whole apparently the theme of the show is celebrating diversity, and that's a little rough to hear now. Granted, side note, again, Oscars talk. Janelle Monáe performed the greatest song the Oscars of all time.
I love it.
Granted, I'm a little young, so I haven't seen as many, but nothing can beat that, honestly. It's fucking amazing.
Okay, so she was amazing at performance, and then cut to later when she's sitting down in her chair. Her dress, oh my god. Like the gold, like the sparkly, oh my god. Dress talk. Kelsey. Like that's all
the greatest hair in the business.
That's true. That's very true.
Your math checks out. And now it was released in 2002. Good on you, Saul. Hashtag maybe release dates. Hashtag I won't play the Scott Mans thing again. Right. I did it like 4 times already.
Speaking of the Oscars again, and again, I got to put up my other one here. My other banner here. Old man, James Jack Daniels. I do not get this whole Billie Eilish thing. I thought she was fucking terrible. I don't know anything about her. I've only heard stuff, but she just. I'm just not a big fan of her.
Come on.
Sorry.
Let me do it. Come on, Kelsey. Let me do it.
She just warbled through that song. It was just not like that was like one of the greatest.
It was a sad fucking song.
Okay, here's my opinion.
It's a great song, but it's a horrible version of it.
That's the thing. I like her for the most part. Other times, I didn't technically like her cover of that song. You know what I mean? Not that I don't like her. I like her voice. I like other things. I like her material she does of her own. I was not a fan of that cover.
Well, let me also say this, and this is what I'm saying. That exact reason proves to me that she's not as talented as people think she is. She's got her groove. She's got her own niche where she can do her own stuff, but try to get her like onto like a great artist can cover a song and make it great and thing. And so if she can't do that, then I don't have as much faith in her as.
So, what do you think about
not looking forward to the Bond theme?
That's what I was going to ask. Is like, what do you think about the Bond song now?
I think it's going to be terrible. I think probably might be I'm already thinking it's going to be the worst Bond theme in the history of Bond themes. That's saying something.
I would punch you in the face if you were next to me.
She's awful. She's awful. She's terrible.
Are you fucking? She swept the Grammys like almost no artist had done before for a good fucking reason. She's one of the most talented artists of her generation. Granted, it's still a young generation, but people have time to outprove her, and they won't fucking do it because she's incredible.
She's not at all. She's terrible.
I'm gonna punch you in the face whenever I see you next, Paul. Come to free for all.
I'm sorry. I just don't like. I don't like anything that she's done. I mean, my daughter, my 15-year-old daughter, is like obsessed with her. I listen to her all the time. She's fine, but that I don't get it. But
I think she's fine. I just don't understand all the hype around her.
I think
that's me too. I think she's good, but overrated.
I think that might be part of the reason why I don't like her as much as I do, because I'm like, I just keep hearing Billie Eilish, Billie Eilish, Billie Eilish, Billie Eilish, Billie Eilish. And I'm like,
that was a spot on Adelaide impression.
Clip it.
I don't get it.
Love it. Oh my gosh. All right. Any other questions in the chat before we call in night?
Well, I mean, okay, so like for the Oscars, I think that all the acting ones were like pretty obvious. Do you guys like them?
Best actor. I was so torn, like in pain, because I wanted Phoenix to get it, but I also really wanted Driver to get it because I felt like he deserved it as well, and so I was a little heartbroken and happy at the same time.
I think I predicted all of them right. None of them were who I would have picked, except for Renee Zellweger. I picked her for Best Actress.
Yeah, Renee definitely deserved it.
She
Absolutely.
was phenomenal in Judy. Like, you lost her in that role. It was amazing.
I mean, yeah, but she's no Saoirse Ronan in Little Women, the greatest film of all time. Fight me, Robert Adams.
The greatest film of all time.
Better than Bo Rap.
Did you just say the greatest film of all time?
I'm hyperbolic.
You're
But
hyper
okay,
fucking
if you-
stupid. You're gonna say
listen
that.
to me on the Year on Trial podcast. I think Little Women is the quintessential film to show your daughters in the future.
Now, let me
I
tell
think
you.
it's that deep and resonant.
My daughter loved it and was like crying at the end. She's like, "Mom, I have never loved a movie so much in my life." She did tell me that, but she also hasn't seen Birds of Prey yet. I'm betting her opinion changes because that's totally a Tilly movie. That is
It's
a
also, like,
Tilly movie.
that like kids are like the last movie they saw was their favorite movie ever.
Look,
Mhm.
I enjoyed Little Woman. I saw it. I rated it like 4.5 stars. I think it's a very good adaptation. Very good adaptation. I actually love the modern take on it. I love almost everything about it, but it's still like just I don't know. It's not best picture of the year at all.
I agree with that.
I agree as well.
I'm gonna pull up my ranking and like allow y'all to shit on me, and including the chat, because I genuinely like, aside from my hot takes of why Hollywood and Joker are garbage, I do think that it's incredibly stands out compared to everything else this year.
Joker is the best film of the year. And then Once Upon a Time in Hollywood second.
Hollywood is trash, honestly. I hate
I
it.
love Once Upon a Time in
I
Hollywood.
love Once Upon a Time in Hollywood also.
I thought it was good.
It at least has something going on.
Like,
I
my
just think Joker is such a
feelings
bland nothing film.
about-
It's not, I don't get that take at all.
Joker.
I don't get the take at all. I get like people not thinking it's the best movie of the year. And I get people getting, but I think there's definitely stuff going on.
But to be fair, people did not leave the Joker with the same opinions as I did, as I have heard.
I also want you guys to watch my I keep plugging shit for like I should say for the end of the show. I had a match against Abby in multiplex this week. Yeah, this week. And one of the matches that was asked was or one of the questions that was asked is what is the name of Zazie Beetz' character in Joker? And I straight up said on the episode, like, I didn't think she had a name. I thought the movie just hated women and didn't give her one. Because that's genuinely like, I don't think the movie is good or positive or contributes to anything. I think it's just sort of like.
As I'm rolling my eyes. Let me have the roll eyes again.
Yeah.
But we can all agree that Jojo Rabbit is like the great middle
Yeah.
tier.
I love
Jojo
Jojo Rabbit. I love If Jojo Rabbit won, I wouldn't have minded that. I think
I've been
it's a
so
lot
happy.
to be said about
I
that
love
movie.
JoJo.
One thing I did want to bring up when you talk about the category supporting actress. Laura Dern was definitely the go-to winner, but I don't know. I didn't see anything spectacular.
She didn't
in that
deserve it.
performance.
That was me too. She was actually, of the ones nominated, the least one I would have voted for her. But I knew she was going to get it because I'd heard the buzz. But
Yeah.
there was just
I don't know who
all the
deserved it
acting
more.
categories were stacked this year, and hers is the one that I agree with the least.
I think she was good. I think in her movie, she's by far a distant third in terms of acting.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Maybe she just overshadowed.
Yeah, Adam Driver acted the crap out of over her. He's so much better.
He's still.
Well, it's hard to like give the award to the person who was in 10 minutes of the movie and didn't require anything complex, compared to Florence Pugh, who played two entirely different ages. Florence Pugh, amazing year. Should have deserved some Oscar.
Hers and Driver, I think, had the best years this year.
To be fair about Florence Pugh, though, I honestly think I would have picked Midsommar or Fighting with My Family as the roles over her Little Women role.
I would have too. Midsummer. Well, actually, yeah, maybe Fighting too. I loved her in Midsummer.
And she was fine in Little Women, but I didn't see anything spectacular in that one either. That's more
one
of
thing about her and Driver is if you look at their year, 2019, it is. I feel like no other actor that's nominated could be matched. Even I know they don't give awards based on entire performances throughout the entire year, but if you did, Driver and Florence would have had it because so many solid performances this year. It was.
But okay, and honestly, to me, I think supporting actor was the weakest acting category in many years. None of them would have made my top 5 supporting performances of the year. Like, I think granted, I have some niche shit like The Nightingale, which I would never make it. But Wesley Snipes in Dolomite could have won it. Alexandra Nivola in Art of Self-Defense should have won it. And Taika Waititi in Jojo Rabbit is incredible.
I agree with that.
And none of them got in.
Who was
That's
the
two Irishmen.
who were the two Irishmen? Who else was it? Was the Irishman?
Pitt, Jonathan Pryce, and Tom
Pitt.
Hanks.
Tom Hanks.
Which, granted, the actors
Yeah.
phenomenal lineup. The
Tom Hanks
performance
Tom Hanks was pretty fucking
Tom
good.
Hanks was really
I
good.
haven't seen it.
Rogers.
And I loved Brad Pitt in Once Upon a Time in
I
Hollywood.
mean, I actually believe
I
it
will
was
say-
Rogers.
I
It's
thought
an act.
Anthony Hopkins in The Two Popes was
He
phenomenal.
was so
I did
good.
too. I actually
loved
really
that
liked
movie.
him in that.
Mhm.
I can't bring myself to watch it. It just looks too old white people. It's
It's
just exhausting.
It is, but the conversations in that movie are just
Yeah.
they're interesting.
old
It's
white
an interesting
people
movie.
deserve some love too. Sometimes it's okay.
That's called Congress, Paul. I don't need to watch 2.5 hours of
Great work,
Congress.
though. Honestly, Jonathan Price's character was. You would love Jonathan Price's character. I think. I
Yeah.
honestly think you would.
It's assuming
If
it's
you're-
like the actual new pope. It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah,
It's hard to get into. It's not a theater movie. It's a Netflix movie. So I'm like, I have to do it at home.
it's a good movie. I actually enjoy it quite a bit. For a movie, it was a play movie. Really, it's one of the movies. It's not like an action movie. It's just conversations the whole time. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's engaging conversations the whole time. So
It's very
I enjoyed it both. I love Brad Pitt in that and Once Upon a Time.
I gotta love that movie for a lot of reasons, but he stole the movie. Like he is my favorite part of that movie.
I don't think his acting is the issue.
I was
like-
actually gonna say that's the only knock is that he was pretty much Brad Pitt being
Yeah,
Brad
like,
Pitt.
If he wasn't up for I have this thought about a lot of movies is if you don't put them in Oscar conversation, I don't think you talk about the performances. I don't think if Hollywood was made by anybody else and wasn't Brad Pitt with the same performance, it wouldn't be the same thing. People wouldn't care. Fuck you, Saul. I think Pitt's charisma is amazing, and I think he has a weight to his performance that I enjoy. But it's because it's Brad Pitt. Like I can watch him do that for days. Granted, not like the murder, sexism, pedophilia part, but just Brad Pitt being Brad Pitt and his abs. I'm all for it. Just not the movie.
All right. I don't see any more questions in the chat. So is it time to wrap it up, Kels?
Yep, I think it's
Wait.
probably time to call it. And yes,
I want to ask about Best Animated because Danny brought up Toy Story 4, and I'm still mad about that.
I wanted Claus
Oh,
to
Toy
win.
Story.
Klaus is so good, y'all.
Klaus is really good, and I Lost My Body is also really good. But I'm happy with Toy Story 4 one.
I haven't seen Toy Story 4.
Toy Story 4 is the only
No.
one I did see, actually, surprisingly.
I haven't.
I think it's weird because going into it, I was reading the odds and shit. Klaus, Toy Story 4, and Missing Link all had phenomenal odds coming into the night.
I didn't like Missing Link that much. It was okay.
I didn't like Missing Link either. I don't understand how
think
it
it
won the Golden
I think it
Globe.
was a bit overrated. And
Yeah.
Missing
It's fine.
Link, we stand trans rights. Zach Galifianakis played Susan, which I still think is a
That's
great
cool.
joke. Yeah, I think it's just a great little fun film. It shouldn't have won the Oscar. I'm glad it didn't. But Klaus is one of the greatest animated feats of the decade. It should have been.
It was phenomenal.
Yeah.
I guess I can't say much. I haven't seen Toy Story 4, but of the ones I did see, I loved Klaus.
Yeah.
Yes. I should have
If you mean most animated performances, you're still wrong. But okay.
Shout out to
Oh.
Abominable too. It's that one's really good. I'm surprised it wasn't nominated either.
Yeah.
Is that I don't remember that one. I don't even remember what that one was. Was that
It's
The one where the girl
John
finds the
Cena?
snowman and returns it to the island, or
Yeah.
John
I
Cena
have
was
no
the
idea.
one?
which is the same
I-
plot as Missing Link.
Don't really like kid movies very much, unless they're comic book related or sci-fi, so I don't see them. But also my kids don't really like them either. So.
Boo.
Like there was a
Boo.
question earlier. I will be taking my children to see Birds of Prey because my daughter reads the comics. So I'm not going to keep her away from it since it's something she's as passionate about as me. So yeah, we're going to go see Birds of Prey either on Tuesday or Wednesday. So
You're just looking for another excuse to see it.
also I'm looking for another excuse to see it. Yeah.
I use my kids that way too. Actually, when Star Wars movies come out, I go see it without them first, and I tell them, I go, I got to do it so when you have questions, I can answer them in the theater.
Yep.
It's a very
Same.
So are your kids like 80 years old? It's like, who's that character?
My kids, oh my gosh, they'll be like, "What's about to happen?" I'm like, I am. Just watch the movie and you will find out in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
They drive me.
I would-
They're major question asking people, and it drives me.
I don't
insane.
have kids, but I made my 10-year-old cousin watch Black Panther with me, and he was like, "Wow, this movie is really long." I was like, "I fucking can't stand you, you piece of shit."
Nat just went
And
full
with
heel.
that,
Full heel.
Nat just turned heel. Okay.
just turned.
All right. Let's
All
wrap
right.
this up.
Well, I think that is a wrap for this evening. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. It has been a blast. I am so happy we got to spend this wonderful Sunday evening with you guys and my amazing panel, which I would like to find out. Where can we find you guys? Paul, where can people find you?
At Paul_Denuzio on Twitter, Paul Denuzio on Facebook, and also I run the Patreon for Team Action, patreon.com/Team Action. They introduced a whole lot of tiers tonight and revamping it. I actually have to go back and watch their stream tonight so I can figure out what I'm doing with Patreon because they didn't tell me yet. So, but go there, help me keep my job. And also, Class Action we do once a week now on the Action Industries YouTube channel. That's me and Richard Eric Jarvie. I believe on Saturday we'll be doing a Birds of Prey review and a Who's the Best Batman. That's what we're gonna do. And that's kind of a DC centric
If
episode.
you pick fucking Affleck, I swear to God.
I love Batfleck.
I love Batfleck too.
Bad. He's bad. He is legitimately
He's not my
bad.
favorite,
You're
but I
wrong.
like Batfleck.
You're absolutely wrong again. Just so you know.
Correct answer is Kevin Conroy, but
Yes.
I'm not
that is
doing,
the
we're not
correct
doing
answer.
animated. Me and Jerry both, we tend to like. I like to separate the live action from the animated. Just my own particular thing.
fair enough.
That would be harder then.
That's true. I did lose the bet, so I'm supposed to be doing this next show topless. But that's we'll find out if that happens or not.
Wow, getting those views.
If you want to
Paul.
find out about that, you go watch last episode. So the ostrich episode we did. So
Oh my god.
anyway, that's it. That's it for me.
All right. And Adelaide, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at TEMEKU Film Nerd. That's at TEMEKU Film Nerd. I've plugged a lot of shit today. If I have to turn you somewhere, check out Movie Trivia Face Off, where I've had my last match as the cleaner against David Spaniard. And I fight the bitch. I also have my match against Abby, one of my greatest friends here. Love talking to her, love hanging out with her, so the match was fun. Also check out my new podcast, Year on Trial, with Jay Burns, Caleb Boatman, and Doug Castle. Great time. Also, keep an eye out for me on announcements of my own movie trivia show at my college, which I'll find a way to plug and get like public somewhere. If you want to hear me talk and ask people questions, watch the channel, but watch that one as well. And Call of the Fan Leagues on Friday with MTFO people. I am actually organizing that as this show goes on, so keep an eye out for that.
Awesome. And Natty Daddy, where can people find you?
You can find me at NattyIce44 on Twitter. I'm Nat Vu on Facebook. I also host a show with Dylan, the Asian Macho Man Camacho, AAA Live, where we take an analytical look at the Schmodown and we break down competitors' strengths and weaknesses, and we also talk about kayfabe. We usually go live every other Thursday. Maybe not this Thursday, but keep an eye out for that.
All right, perfect. And you can always find me here on Call to Action Podcast. My name is Kelsey. You will find us hopefully on Ladies Night coming up this week. I will keep you posted. You can find me at KelseyKins90 on Twitter and Instagram. I also run the Call to Action Podcast Instagram, so you can interact with me there. And TeePublic, we have merch. I'm hoping we can have some new designs of shirts coming out because, as you can tell, I like shirts and I want to buy them, so that's mostly why. So check that out. I've heard there's a sale going to coming on around President's Day, so not President's Day, around Lincoln's birthday, which is my birthday actually. So keep an eye out for that, and we will see you next time, guys.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Peace out, mother fathers.
Bye.
Bye.
Monday to Friday playing.
And awkward while we wait for it to
I was
go
doing-
away.
We still